All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Market Prep. I hope you're having an amazing morning. Good morning, Peter. How are you doing today?
Good morning, Carlos. I'm doing great. Had a good day off yesterday. Used it productively. Got lots of stuff done. I actually spent most of the day in an office. I felt like an office worker. It was actually entertaining. Made me realize I don't really want to do that. So thank God I don't do that anymore. But anyways, other than that, it's here we are. Reminder, everybody, it is Friday. I know it might feel like a different day of the week. It's been one of those weeks where you've got like that weird, Thursday holiday, which little unexpected, unplanned holiday. So, but it is a Friday, so we expect Friday trading today. I think. Who knows, Carlos? The year is still young. Nothing's been what we've expected so far, but there's been some decent trading, but there's also been some duds of days. So I don't know. Today, it could be anything.
Yeah, it surely can. Starting with these job numbers are out, friends. I can see the market here dropping, reacting to it already. We'll hop onto that and we'll look at our gap resistance. But yeah, this is creating some action for us now. You mentioned the other day, like we don't need a lot of movement, right? The stock market has been so volatile, but again, these events actually help us even more. So, what's the latest and greatest, Peter? It looks like the numbers are out, and the SPY is reacting to it now.
Yes, indeed. So we've got a couple numbers coming out, usually around job employment, and it looks like they're a little. I mean, they're pretty much right on target. They're close. The U.S. unemployment rate 4.2% was the forecast. 4.1% was the actual. The hourly earnings should have gone up by 4% as well. Anybody feel 4% richer if you're working an hourly wage? Did you get a raise? Well, according to the statistics, you should have got 4% more. Actually, according to statistics, you should have got 3.9% more. So there you go. That's the increase. And then at 10 o'clock, the only other real number of note is the Michigan consumer sentiment coming out at 10 a.m. Now, there are a couple of other things coming out today. It's Friday, which means we get like oil rig counts and stuff like that. I don't usually tell you guys about that because if we're trading equities, then you're probably not counting oil rigs. But the Baker Hughes oil rig count is a big one if you're trading oil futures. But anyways, other than that, yes, the Michigan consumer sentiment is the only other big one at 10, and that don't usually see a market impact, but who knows? On Wednesday, we had the Fed, the FOMC minutes come out, and I fully expected the market to move as a result of that. Usually, the computers read that, even if it's completely as expected, and then take a jump or a dump. Nothing. Like it totally ignored it. So okay. I mean, I get maybe they've recalibrated over the holidays, recalibrated all of their quantum computers out there, and the AI. I'm just throwing buzzwords in now, but maybe their computers there on Wall Street are now smarter. They're not just gut reacting to this stuff in weird ways. So let's see what happens. All right, we do have a couple of earnings. Nothing that I thought was like super exciting, to be honest, but a couple of earnings this morning. We'll take a look at them as the situation warrants. See if they're of interest for trading today.
Yep, absolutely. We'll take a look at what's happening there. Quick look at our gappers list this morning before we dive into some of these individual tickers. Our gappers, we have a bunch of stuff in the green, 32%, 14. I think that's Walgreens, CEG. We'll dive into that. And then we got a couple of airlines. 3 of the major ones are on here, Delta, United, and American Airlines. So I think these are 3 of the 4 major airlines, all in the green today. So good stuff happening there. We'll dive into that. And then also towards the bottom, that last one. On the red side of things, there is a bunch of tickers on here. A lot of tech stuff. Quantum is on here as well. So a bunch of stuff here in the red. We'll see what's driving all these tickers. NVIDIA also down this morning. So it looks like a lot of our tech stuff is on the red side this morning. So let's do this. Let's dive in on the first one today. We'll look at DTIL. So DTIL, the first one on DIG. This is up 35%, 4.9 million shares traded. So nice pop there. Again, lower price stock. Usually I don't like these stocks under $10. This is one of them. Has been hanging around between $5 and $4.50 today, making a pop. Peter, I don't even like the pre-market. I don't like when stocks do this. They pop up and then they're lower price. They come back down, low volume. I don't know. What's the latest and greatest on this?
It's a biotech. It's a low float. So there's two reasons maybe not to like it. Unless you really like the poppy jumpy stuff, then this might be your
the
your
poppy jumpy stuff. I like that.
Poppy jumpy stuff.
I like that.
Yeah,
that's a new one. We're gonna add that to the list. Yes.
This is a company called Precision Biosciences. They did have phase 2 trials on an OT. I'm just going to call it OTC deficiency, because if I try and say the whole thing, I'll hurt myself. So let me try. We'll see what happens. The ornithine transcarbamylase. I've said that completely wrong. I'm sure that didn't even sound right in my head. But anyways, it doesn't matter. They had a phase 1-2 trial. That's why it's jumping. I don't care. Not trading. Is that harsh enough?
Yeah, we'll leave that alone. It looks brutal. Again, not my cup of tea. I like the comment in chat by Mr. Pijot9. He says, I like the poppy jumpy stuff only when it works in my favor. We all do, my friend.
Well,
we
course.
all do. But yeah.
Well,
I like anything that jumps in my favor. But yeah, absolutely. All right. We'll leave that alone, guys. Again, we'll see if it comes back up. It could be a good one for our low flow traders. Again, we just have to see if it can get back to that pre-market high. Another one that's on our deck this morning is Walgreens. So Walgreens Boots, very interesting name there, up 14.5 this morning, 5.8 million shares traded. So it's again, tons of volume this morning. Obviously some news driving them, Peter. They're doing pretty good as they're popping up here, almost 15%.
Yeah, they're one of the early companies to have announced earnings, and they had a good quarter. They beat the earnings per share, which is the bottom line stuff. The expectations were 39 cents a share. They actually earned 51 cents a share. Revenue was also higher. 39.46 billion was what they actually delivered in revenue, when the expectation was only 37.35 billion. So good quarter for Walgreens Boots, and on the back of that, they actually increased their guidance as well. So that's why we're seeing it jump today. This is a tough trader. Be careful with this one. I've traded it several times, and every time I do, it confuses me. It just doesn't follow the trends and patterns I like. It is a New York Stock Exchange traded stock. Is it? No, it's
actually not. It's one of the weird ones that
NASDAQ.
trades like a New York Stock Exchange. Yeah.
It does. It absolutely does. Okay, well, yeah, I was looking it up as I said it, and I realized that's incorrect. Okay, well, I still don't like the way it trades, but it did have earnings. It's got some volume, more volume than normal, so it's in play. Probably I'll watch it, but unlikely I'll trade it. Never know.
Yeah, I don't like this one. What's this one? A CVS, all these pharmaceutical companies, they tend to get the pop initially, and then at the market open, they just bomb. The price action is very difficult to read. This is one of them. WBA, I've seen it plenty of times. Again, we look at this a few times a year when there's some news or earnings. Today they're doing good, but it won't be on my list, man. So it's a tough one. All right, let's take a look at what's next here. CEG this morning. So if we look at CEG today, we are up 12.3 right now, 582,000 shares traded. Short selling restriction at the moment. This is a 312 million float stock. So again, pretty high float here, getting a nice little pop there. The volume going into the market open is going to be a concern depending on your trading style. So if you're looking for some kind of explosive, high volume, this could be a tough one to get that in. So, Peter, they're doing well today, getting over some recent highs here. What's driving them this morning?
Yeah, Constellation Energy is an interesting one. They've got a $26 billion deal to buy a natural gas pipeline, geothermal Natural gas pipeline. So that's sort of a new business area for them. And there's a company called Calpine that it looks like they're buying, and it's sort of a really big step into this market. So I don't know. I mean, the market seems to be favorable of it. Normally, when a company is the acquirer, they drop. But in this case, it looks like it's benefiting them. So the market is surprisingly bullish on this acquisition. So yeah, maybe an opportunity. I This is another one that I have watched it in the past. Don't love the way the way the stock moves. So volume's a little low for this type of news today. I would have hoped for more. I guess at only 600,000 shares. I'll round up. But yeah, it's that's the news, anyways. And if you like it, then jump in. Maybe you guys can create some volume so that I'll like it better. But not loving it right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the daily. Again, pre-market looks interesting here. I'm just concerned with how it's going to be at the market open. These stocks, and also the spread. The spread is going to probably be a little bit wild here as we get into the market open. So not liking it a whole bunch. Secondary, maybe it has to get better. It has to get really good at the market open. I just don't think it has it in it, but I'll keep an eye on it in case that does change. Let's take a look at what's next. Okay, an interesting one here. Airlines, Delta, United, and American Airlines all on deck this morning. And I believe Delta's the one kind of leading this, right, Peter? Up of 8.5, 1.5 million shares traded this morning. So seeing some positive stuff here on the travel sector as far as airlines go.
Yeah, so you're absolutely correct. Delta Airlines had earnings this morning, and very upbeat sort of earnings announcement by the CEO. Not only did they beat their Q4, but says they say a great amount of momentum going into the start of 2025. And now, that being said, I did not see them change their forecast. So a great amount of momentum, but not enough for them to up their forecast at this point. However, that's seen as a positive message for the entire sector, and it looks like that American Airlines and United, they're just getting a bump as sort of as a result, just a sympathy type of move. So specifically on the numbers, Delta Airlines was expected to make for 14.1 billion. They made 14.4 billion in revenue, and adjusted earnings were buck 85 when they were expected to make a buck 76. So I mean, it's better. It's not like blow the doors off it better, but it was okay. So I think really it was more the commentary from the CEO. They're normally quite reserved, and they just say was good. We hope for more, but to say that they see such significant momentum, I guess got people a little excited. I don't. This whole sector, I feel like unlike Wednesday when I was like excited about everything, I feel like I'm just sort of being negative on almost everything here, Carlos. But I don't love the airlines. I do also find this sector, these stocks, difficult to trade.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I have those days too when I'm just going through everything and saying I don't like this, I don't like that. But American Airlines and some of these airlines I do like those. So here we will differ a little bit. Again, they can be really good, but at times they're tough. They have not been great lately. They had, like American Airlines had one big pop. It's not like the Carnival days in American Airlines where we're just having these on our watch list almost every single day,
The
right?
good
If
old
you remember
days,
that
yeah.
back in the days, that's good old days, yeah. But I think I'll put Delta on Airlines on my list today. I do always like to see how American Airlines, because they usually get the volume. Like if you look at American Airlines right now, 2.7 million, right? And that usually can translate to better trading activity. So we'll see if today they can do anything. Delta will be on my list for right now. You can look at United and some other ones as well. LAES is on deck this morning. They have been almost every day, I think, for the last 2 weeks, or at least week and a half. They're up 5.8 right now, 12 million shares traded, almost 13. They're down. No, they're up this morning. They had a big down day yesterday. Recover a little bit, and then they're up this morning. But they're really down from the pre-market highs. I thought they were in the red. I mean, pre-market highs 630. They dropped a lot from there, and they were in the red just a few minutes ago. Peter, I don't like this one, CSQ. So it's normally not gonna make my list. Is this something that is making your list, or do you like it? What's the plan for you?
Well, I'm impressed that they're holding the volume. I mean, they still have 13 million shares here pre-market, so there's no question it's in play. I mean, you just look at that daily chart we've got up for you. I mean, it looks like the volume was zero before December the 10th. It's just because it's so relatively low compared to what we've been getting each day, with almost 50 to 100 million shares every day. I mean, we're already at 13 million shares, and we still have 45 minutes to the market open, so it's in play. But I agree with you, Carlos. I haven't loved the way it's played, and just the way the price action works. This sort of feels like a natural bounce. If you, again, back on the daily, you can sort of see it's in an empty spot between the gap that it had on Wednesday, right down before we had the holiday yesterday. So it could very well bump between here and $7 today. I don't expect big things out of it. So if you've been trading it and you like the way it moves and the opportunity it gives you, then they go for it. But there's nothing new about it. There's no news that I can see on Seal
Yep.
SQ. I have to reach out to somebody and figure out if this is Seals Q or Seal SQ, or I still think it's a terrible company name. Anyways,
All right. Or CLSQ. Right. So many things you go
I
with there.
looked.
But yeah.
Maybe it's just
Yeah.
maybe
It's
it's a total acronym, and we're supposed to say SEALSQ. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's something
yeah,
altogether
yeah.
different. Who knows?
Who knows? Who knows?
Those Swiss people.
Um yeah, this won't be on my list. It's in play today. I think I'm gonna find better things, especially on this gap down list. Has a couple of big names on there that I do want to have on deck this morning. So off our gap up, I'm taking Delta Airlines. I am putting American on my secondary. SEG will be on here as well. Again, I love the pre-market. I love what they're doing here. Can this continue into the market open? Can we get good volume? Is going to be the question here. One last one that's coming up on our list here is HMY. Let's look at that. Then we'll get to Peter
Oh
to see what
man,
he likes in the gap
I
up.
haven't looked at them in a while.
HMY, yeah, it's not really it's not really intraday tradable. I mean, this stuff, uh, I don't think it's a great ticker to intraday trade. There's probably better things to look at when it comes to gold that are going to be a little bit more volatile. So I don't know. I don't like it. I'm going to leave this alone, Peter. And it's probably going to be the same for you as well. It just doesn't look uh, day trading friendly, I want to say.
Yeah, they typically get more volume than most of the mining stocks, but I don't like the mining sector for day trading for whatever reason. Miners just don't typically trade well, and yeah, Harmony it jumps on our list occasionally, and people sometimes point it out just because of the volume. I'm assuming, but if you actually look at the intraday price action, it's usually pretty difficult to manage. So yeah, I agree with you. Avoid it.
Yep, leaving that one alone. All right, before we jump down to the gap down list, I see that WBA is being mentioned. Yeah, we did look at that first thing this morning. It's the first one on our list. But again, as Peter was mentioning, I mentioned it as well. I love this move here, but they are so hard to trade. So my history with these guys has not been great. Also with similar tickers like CVS and all these other pharmaceutical stores, they're not good intraday trading tickers. Peter, before we head down to the gap down list, what do you like gapping up this morning that might not be on this list?
Well, there's not much gapping up. There's a lot of red out there. I mean, I'm seeing the market indices overall, and then of course all my Magnificent Seven stocks, all my semiconductor stocks. I mean, they're pretty much all gapping down. The exception of Taiwan Semiconductor, they're gapping up. They're usually an early earnings reporter as well. So TSM, we can look at them. They did report earnings and had a good quarter. They they claimed AI or stated AI is the cause. Now you can actually believe it in this case. A lot of companies like to just throw AI in there and say it's AI. Well, being at the front end of that supply chain, right, where they're providing the chips that people are using, it makes sense. So they really did have a jump in revenues because of AI, because all the other companies are buying the AI chips for them to try and do their AI stuff. So, anyways, good quarter for Taiwan Semiconductor. This is one of the more difficult of the semiconductors stocks to trade. Again, in my opinion, it's I don't know. It's a funny company, big company, lots of value out there. Don't get me wrong on that, but just from a trading perspective, it can be very difficult. If you look at it on the daily, you can see generally the candles are relatively small. It doesn't move in a big range. So yeah, it had earnings, but probably not going to make my list. So Carlos, that's it. Like other than that, there's not much else. Green. Sorry, everything's red.
Yeah, everything is red. As you can see here on our gap down list this morning, a bunch of stuff here. A lot of it made by tech. I see tech almost all over this list. Let's start with Joby, one of our interesting tickers, Joby, which comes up here, not Joni, Joby, Joby, if I can type here. Joby this morning. Joby Aviation. So we are down 6.3 this morning, 1.6 million shares traded. We track this company just because what they do and the thoughts of uh, flights in this little what is it like drone type vehicles? Is it this one or is that Archer? I confused the
Yep.
two. I know this
Yeah,
one and
no, that's
Archer
these
both
guys.
are in that. These guys, okay. So yeah, so they're down 6.4. Peter, what's not going well for them today?
Well, this seems to be because of some insider selling. So, so a company insider by the name of Didier Papadopoulos, I just like saying his name. Didier, anyway, sold some of his shares. Didier Papadopoulos, that's a great name to say. Anyways, and then the
That's a great name.
CEO, Jobert Bevert, sold some shares as well. So I don't know. When I'm looking at the numbers, it doesn't. They didn't sell that many shares. I mean, the CEO sold 250,000 shares to pocket about $2.4 million, but he still holds 32 million shares. So worth around $300 million. So the fact that he put $2 million in his pocket, I don't know. That doesn't seem significant, but it's the only news I could find in the company. So he sold 0.7% of his holdings. So it's really like no big deal, really.
Point seven.
It's
That's
yeah.
nothing, but I guess it could send a message, right?
Uh,
You could send a wrong message to other people saying, hey, if he's selling something, although it could be, like you said, Peter, you mentioned plenty of times before, it could literally be just to buy a new boat or a new car or a new Cybertruck, right?
yeah.
And I don't know. It's just, could be anything, you
Yeah.
know? So
Yeah.
hopefully he's using that money to donate to the fires out in California, which, by the way, man, what a disaster. So I feel for you guys out there. Looking at the news, I don't know if I mentioned this yesterday or the day before, but this thing was spreading so fast at one point that it was burning. I think they were mentioning like 3 football fields per minute as far as how fast it was expanding. That is insane.
It's
So, man,
yeah. Well, when you
it's
get
wild.
100-mile-an-hour winds, I mean that's those Santa Ana winds, I guess, were blowing that fire all over the place. So yeah, it seems to be pretty bad. So it looks like people are managing to get away. So not a big loss of life, which is good. In fact, I haven't heard of anybody actually sort of dying in the fire, so that's good. But yeah, it's
I think
the
it's
destruction
only
of
been
property.
5 people, which is
Oh, is it
again,
5, 10?
that's great. That means people are
Okay.
actually, yeah, 5 to 10. So that means people are actually hearing the advice of evacuating. I think this is serious, right? Because when you look at the pictures, you're like, wow, this you expect to be more, but people are, they're
Yeah.
taking the warnings pretty serious. So
Yeah, no
so
kidding.
yeah, but yeah, yep. Um, Shooter is saying so. Going back to Joby here, Joby Shooter is saying that over on YouTube that he got downgraded by J.P. Morgan. J.P. Morgan is upset. The analysts at J.P. Morgan, they're very pissed off right now. J.P. Morgan wants them to come back to work 5 days a week. They're not happy. They're downgrading everything. They downgraded PLTR. They're downgrading this Joby one. I mean, they're downgrading whatever they get their hands on, right? So JP Morgan analysts, just chill out, chill out. Work out a deal to still work from home and continue to watch your Netflix. Figure it out, figure it out. But yeah, that's what's happening there.
That's
So yeah,
and
for
he's
Joe,
he's right. That's true. There was a downgrade on J.P. Morgan. I should have mentioned that. But what I again, guys, you know how I feel about analysts by now. If you've watched the show a little bit, so look, J.P. Morgan downgraded it from neutral to underweight, which says that you should be selling if you've got a position, or you should be lightening your portfolio size. But they increased their price target from $5 to $6. So I mean, I guess in this case, at least, it's still under the current price, so they think the price is going to drop, just not as far as they did before. But why did they think you should hold it before when it was going to move lower? The analysts, I just sometimes it scratches my head on it. Like they just a lot of their messages seem to be behind the actual stock price movement. So, anyways, if you're managing a big portfolio of stocks, don't rely on the analysts. Right? Use your own eyes, evaluate the stocks yourself. That would be my best advice. All right. There's my
yeah, yeah,
pseudo rant for you
absolutely,
today. And get off
excellent,
my lawn,
excellent.
JP Morgan.
Absolutely. So Joby, again, to start off the list on the gap
Ah.
down, not looking great. It's got some volume, but it won't be on my list, man. Again, we like talking about it. We like to see what's going on there. We're interested to see these things in the air. Not with us in it, but we are interested to see them flying around. But again, just not going to
Exactly.
be on deck. Oh, speaking of, I didn't notice this one is on here too. ACHR. We won't spend too much time on it, but I'm assuming it's a similar situation, right? These two are kind of hand in hand here when it comes to this aviation news. So, Peter, unless there's anything specific to this one, we'll skip down to the next one here.
Well, I guess, like you said, Carlos, JP Morgan is still angry. They downgraded this as well. Downgraded it from overweight to neutral and moved the price from $6 to $9. So, there you go.
Yeah. Yeah. Or maybe they're trying to show they can actually work from home, right? They're trying to get all their upgrades and downgrades in to show their bosses, hey, yeah, we're doing work now. They're being threatened to lose their couch office there. HIMS is next on the list, and we are down 5.2 on this one, 518,000 shares traded, heading towards the recent lows here we see for the month. Again, this stock, I haven't really watched it closely. Is one that doesn't really make the list often for me, Peter. I'm not sure if you had any experience watching the price action on this one. It is a nicey stock. Is this something that, when it's in play, makes your list? I personally don't like it at the moment.
No, I've never liked the way it trades, really. So I haven't watched it really. Hims and Hers has been on the list a
Yeah.
couple of times. They have benefited from um, a couple of bad news, I guess, with their competitors. But here the Him stock is dropping because of the FDA. Eli Lilly had this drug called tirzepatide, which is a weight loss drug, which was put on a shortage list. Anyways, now that the FDA has removed it from the shortage list, that's a problem for him. So their stock is dropping as a result of that news, it seems. I don't like trading it.
Yeah. Moving on now to another one that we actually do like is RGTI. And we'll look at Fubu, guys. I think Fubu's doing some stuff today.
Rigetti.
We'll look at that one as well. RGTI this morning, we are down 4%, 20 million shares traded. This is a lot of volume. So I like what I'm seeing here. They were down yesterday, gap down yesterday, and actually did not manage to recover. They sold off at the market open some more, and they're down here to 960, right? So not looking so hot today. I do want to have them on my list. We do have shares for short on these guys, and we got plenty of inventory with of Interactive Brokers. Not recommending that it's going to be a short. We can have some relief come in here and start popping this thing up a little bit, but for the most part, volume is there. We're down 4.2. I like it. Love the pre-market action right now. Peter, this will be on my list. Do you like this on your end?
I've actually traded this, so it's actually been moving fairly well over the last little while. I said I'm impressed at its longevity here, that it continues to get the volume and be able to stay on our radar. Today, I don't know what to expect. I don't know. I mean, I might I might watch it. It's on my list of sort of semi-permanent stocks that I'm watching right now. So yeah, I'll keep an eye on it and see what it does. It's at the if I look at sort of the trend, it's at the bottom end of that range that it set on Wednesday, which tells it's still looking weak. I mean, the whole market's looking weak, but I don't know. It could very well be an inside day. I've got to see if it breaks below $9. That's when it could be a very interesting stock. If it just hangs here and pops up back into that range, I mean, it's got lots of upside room, as you can see here. It could just trend in a zone here, but yeah, I'll be watching it.
I do like it today as well, man. It'll be on my list. Let's go to the next one on here. It's going to be PLTR. And then from here, we'll stop and we'll hop around a little bit to get to some stuff that we want to cover, like NVIDIA, our twins, QUBT and QBTS. We'll look at the quantum stuff as well. But PLTR this morning, we are down 3.4 here, 3 million shares traded. So I do like the volume we're getting here. An aggressive move after 8:30 here when the numbers came out. So they're being affected by it. I think these guys got a downgrade by JP Morgan, not today, like a few days ago, right? When they started working again, the analysts. But they're down here today. I'm going to add them to my list. Really like the volume. We do have shares for short. When this is in play, guys, it can trade very, very well. So it will be on my list today. Peter, I see the movement at 8:30. Is there anything individually moving this stock and giving it so much volume today?
Well, I mean, the PLTR, the CEO, was he the CEO? No, he's just a co-founder. A guy named Joe Lonsdale. Anyways, yeah, I think he's just a co-founder of Palantir, and a couple other people were on the CNBC Squawk Box, and they were talking about the proposed government spending cuts in the Doge, the Department of Government Efficiency that Elon is supposed to head, because Elon was sort of backpedaling a little bit on his aggressive cut scenario. He said he was going to be able to take, trillions of dollars out of the federal government spend. Is now backpedaling and saying that maybe 2 trillion might be a best case scenario. Joe Lonsdale and a couple others in conversation, in fairness, but they were saying, yeah, look, if they managed to find $1 trillion, that would be hugely impressive. So look, it's always a dangerous move to sort of poo-poo Elon, right? Like, even if you really mean it, it's sort of dangerous to sort of suggest that you don't agree with him publicly, because either he will personally lash back or shareholders might fight back. So I don't know if this move is uniquely related to that. I can't see other news, but that's the only sort of news I see, is that the co-founder sort of spoke out, and nothing to do with their company. It's just expressing an opinion. But again, opinions carry risk when you represent a company like PLTR. So all that to say,
Yeah.
this could be in play today. You tend to get, it's often in play most days, right? Because it just gets good volume on most days. It can get good movement. It's not one that I regularly play, to be honest. I feel like I need to disclose that. But, I look at it often and I'm like, oh, there's a move I missed. And there's one. Maybe I should have been watching it. I'm just thinking today it might be in play, as you might get some of the fans or anti-fans. What's an anti-fan? A hater? Anyways, out there that might decide to play with this stock today. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, that's what I see on PLTR.
Yeah, I like the volume, and yeah, it's looking very, very nice this morning. Hopping down here, we do have the quantum stuff, man. And it's funny, we were talking in chat yesterday. Somebody was asking me on the YouTube, well, not yesterday
Wednesday.
because we were off yesterday, the day before. Yeah, Wednesday. They were asking me, did I mess up here? Right? They got they invested into the quantum stuff. I guess when it was here, they were talking about it being, the next best thing. And then our buddy, what is Ginseng Huang, slaps them in the face. I think we got a little gif on that that we might bring up here. Slaps them in the face and says, "Hey man, you're decades away from being very useful. Get out of here with that." So that slapped them down yesterday. They got down huge, and they're down some more again, 2.5. But to answer, on a serious note, now to answer the question of this gentleman, and I forgot their name. We don't know. We really don't know. It depends on your timing. If your timing was, a couple of days, then
Right.
yeah, it could be a little bit dangerous. If your timing is, a year from now, 6 months from now, this thing could be at $40 by June. We don't know. So again,
Yeah.
I always tell people, go back to your plan. When you got into this trade, what was your plan? What was your stop loss? What did you calculate? And if you got into this trade, you didn't do that, then you got a bigger problem to worry about, going forward. You got to have that in place. You got to have a plan. If you start to do your plan after you're in the trade, you're already emotionally committed, it's not going to work out too well for you, right? So, Peter, I'm sure you can add some more to that as well. You got to have a plan in place.
No, I agree wholeheartedly, right? It all depends on your time frame. If you got into this expecting in a couple of years this is going to be a huge sector that's going to yield big results, then maybe this is a buying opportunity, right? So a time to add to your portfolio. But like Carlos said, it's got to be with your original plan. It's not time to make up a new plan just to try and recover the losses you made and double down. That's bad trading, right? Good trading, good
Yes,
investing
that's
means
like
that you understood
our
what you're.
government. Our government is the one that does that. We don't want to trade like our government operates, right? Very important.
Okay, I thought it that way, but anyways, but to the point.
Yeah.
Look, if it's exceeded the parameters that you'd originally entered the trade on, then get out and reevaluate. You can always get back in. Commissions are cheap these days. It's better to get out and reevaluate, because then you won't be emotionally invested in the trade. You've already accepted the loss. You can sort of figure out a new. If you're still in it, that's not the time to try and create a new plan. Absolutely not. right? So that's the only advice I can give you. I'm not telling you to get out. I'm saying look at the original intent on which you made the trade, and if it's again exceeded those parameters, then you get out and reevaluate. That would be our trading advice.
Yep, absolutely. QBTS, speaking of this one, again, I would like to watch them. I'd like to see if there's some kind of bounce here. And again, it's in his favor to kind of throw these people down a little bit, right? And have people focus on his stuff. He could be extremely biased, so who knows? But QBTS obviously looking good with the volume. I'm going to have them on my secondary list as we move forward here. All right, heading back down to the list, let's talk about NVIDIA and AMD, right? So they're both on here on the gap down list tomorrow. Today, we'll look at AMD first. AMD is looking good, man. 1.8 million shares traded, down 3%. It is looking very nice this morning, pre-market as well. So it will be on my list, hitting some recent lows, man, of December. So again, AMD has not really, if you look at the bigger picture, AMD has not done very well compared to like his NVIDIA and other ones. They've been pretty bad, man, right? I mean, is it just me, or if you look at all last year, we're right back to some hefty lows here. So, Peter, what do you think of your darling
No,
AMD here?
they've been pretty bad. It has not been a great trading stock. It's just not. I don't know. I don't like the movement as much now as I used to. I've certainly been watching Nvidia a lot more. AMD's had its days though. There have been a few days where it's really given some good trading opportunities, but yeah, they are fewer and farther between than they used to be. So um, take that for what it's worth. I mean, it's really just I watch it every day. I still watch it, but I've learned you just got to be very cautious on when you choose to make a trade in it because there's more chop than there is directional movement.
Yeah, I like them today because they're hitting this low from December. So maybe that can cause, it can go both ways. We can cause some a lot of weakness or maybe some kind of bounce here. So I do like that there. And then let's talk about NVIDIA. NVIDIA also has been really, really nice. Huge sell off a couple of days ago, as you guys remember. And volume is in at 9.6 this morning. So I will be watching this one also and seeing where the volume takes it at this morning. So there it is. That's our gap up and down. Peter, anything you like in the gap down that we might have not covered yet?
Well, and first, let me just say to comment that Gary and a couple others made. We are generally talking about how the stock looks to us for intraday trading, right? We're not talking about investing. Something can be a terrible stock for intraday trading, but be a great investment stock. We're not talking investments here because there's a whole different analysis. So when we were talking about quantum earlier, right, that's one of the few times we got asked a couple questions, so we were trying to answer. But really, we're evaluating things based on how well do they move, such that we can take advantage of them, on a very short term basis, not investing. So I just want to be clear on that. And so on that basis, what are we looking at? Well, somebody in the room asked us to look at DJT. I'm very surprised at how little this thing has been on our radar. It really has not moved very well over the last month or so. And I would have thought as we get closer to inauguration, in early December, Trump had to do, as an incumbent, as a president-elect, of course, he cannot have direct control of these, so has to take all of his holdings and put them into a trust, which happened back in December, late December. So really, but little impact. The stock, you can see the volume's been pretty flat. The price action's been pretty flat. It really hasn't been doing much. So I'm a little surprised by that. I would have thought there'd be a little more action on DJT, and it doesn't look good today. So whoever asked me to look at that, I don't like it. I just don't. I have no expectation it's going to do anything fun, so it won't be on my radar. Other than that, on the gap down, you guys can pretty much pick anything you want, right? Pretty much the entire market is gapping down this morning. Now, I just want to give maybe a warning and a reminder. We're gapping down about 0.75% this morning, which is a fair amount, but we've seen this before. Remember the last time when the market was gapping up and everything was green, and what happened? We sold off all day. Now, I'm not suggesting that
Yeah.
today that means that we're going to go higher, right? But I just want you don't make an assumption right now as to where things are going to go based on what you're seeing pre-market. This could turn around. It could continue in the same direction. Like I'm just saying, we don't know. but at the moment everything is green, so pick whichever ones you like. I like Tesla. Tesla's got decent volume this morning, and the price action is good. Tesla's always sort of a good candidate, I think, for trading. Nvidia, of course, right? Also some pretty good movement. Now, I will say, if you look at the stocks, the charts on the short-term basis of both Nvidia and Tesla, not surprisingly, they look very similar. They are not moving independent from the overall market volume. If I look at the SPY chart or the Qs, they also look the same, right? So pretty much everything is moving together at the moment. Doesn't mean that that's a bad thing. It just, keep it in mind, right? Things are just moving with the general market sentiment, which at the moment is lower. So if that changes, everything could move together in a different direction. So we'll just have to see what happens when this opening bell rings. But for this morning, Tesla, Nvidia, top of my list. Microsoft and Meta, I'm also keeping an eye on. They have lower volume this morning. Nothing special happening in either one of those, but I'll keep an eye on them, as well as Apple, just because that's the basket of stocks I tend to like to watch, and we'll see what they do. So what do I like on my list? Well, some of the stuff we've already talked about. I probably will watch American Airlines. I've been looking at it while we've been, Delta Airlines, while I've been talking. It's the one with the primary news catalyst. I sort of like the way it's moving. Walgreens, I really want to watch it. I get hurt every time I try and trade it. So I'm thinking that I might watch it, but just like out of the side of my eye, where like pretending I'm not paying attention, like a kid watching a scary movie, just so that I can see what happens, but I won't be tempted to trade it. So that's how
Yeah.
I'm going to approach Walgreens.
It's not an easy one. Let's take a look here at one that's been mentioning in chat, in both chats actually, Fubo quite a bit. If you guys remember, this is still probably going on with the news of Disney. I mean, that's a big deal for these guys, right? So they're up here 7.3. That's what caused this
Yeah,
big gap up.
they're
If you're not
green.
around for that, yeah, they're this is big for them, man. They're doing that deal, so that's happening. Up 7.1, 11 million shares traded. I think this goes higher. Long term, I think this will be much higher than what it is right now, right? So, as the streaming services just kind of they went like all different directions, and now they're just kind of okay. Let's bring it back in now, and let's create these packages for
Raining
people
in people.
because I don't. Yeah, I don't want to have 30 different packages to be able to watch every NFL game. It's just ridiculous. So here it is, friends. This is in play. I like it today. I think I'll add it on my list. It's a lower price stock, so I'm going to put it on my secondary list because it's not going to be my first go-to. I want to go to Delta. I want to look at POTR and NVIDIA and even AMD today. I like these, the way they're setting up. But Fubo is a good one this morning. And you're seeing it here popping up again towards that recent high there around 6:45, we'll call it. So all right, we'll stop here. Peter, we'll go to you. Let's see what's happening in our community event, and then we'll come back. We'll do some levels, and we'll hand it off to Brian and Andrew trading live. And then remember, guys, after Brian and Andrew, we also have Avi and Paris trading live for you guys here on YouTube. So stay tuned for that. That starts at 11. So again, all the way to 12, you got us on YouTube here, streaming live for you guys. So Peter, what's on deck for our community events?
All right, so it's a Friday, which means that we don't have any scheduled webinars for you today. So let's talk about next week. Next week, we should be back to a full regular schedule. I keep feeling like I'm saying, "Hey, we're back to a regular schedule," and then something happens, like the Jimmy Carter funeral, which means that we had the day off yesterday. But next week, it should be business as usual. I don't think there's any holidays. There should be nothing weird happening, which means that we're going to start with the onboarding class that happens on Mondays. That happens in the evening, and then during the day we have the DOS Trader Pro setup with Brendan. That's at noon in the onboarding room for anybody that wants to sort of get tips and tricks on how to use DOS. And then if you're a new member, you should really mark down the onboarding class. It's a great way to get oriented with the community. Carlos leads that. It's always a great session, so put those two in your calendar. Tuesday, we'll have our strategy and tradebook session. We had a great one with Megan this week. Did you guys get the carb reference? Well, you couldn't miss it if you were paying attention. So that's our Tuesday session. This coming Tuesday, as I've been mentioning, Thor is going to be taking over. Thor is going to be talking to you about what type of account you should consider as you're going through your trading journey. And there's different accounts that might be applicable depending on your situation. Might be good to understand. Do I want to trade for someone else? Do I want to trade for myself? Do I want to use someone else's money? He's going to talk about how those different accounts work and what might be beneficial to you. And then next week, we've got Gary L., he's a long-term member in the room, and he's going to be doing a webinar for us talking about trading trends. And I love it, how to make hay while the sun shines. Guys, if you know Gary in the room, the sun is always shining for Gary because he is a very active trader. Let me just say that. So it'll be interesting to see his webinar and what he talks about, because he is, I mean, he's in the room and he's sharing trades with us all the time, man. He is always on the go. So very, very active. On Wednesday, we talk psychology, and this coming Wednesday, we've got Wesley, who's going to be with us talking about mental resilience. It should be a great session happening Wednesday at 8 p.m. So this is, again, this coming Wednesday at 8 p.m. And then the week after, we've got Dr. Charland, who's going to be with us. I think this is maybe the good doctor's first time presenting, because I don't remember her presenting before. She's going to be talking about mastering fear in trading. That'll be on January the 22nd. Again, 8 p.m. usual time. So it'll be always great to have new speakers. We look forward to hearing from her. Don't forget on Wednesdays, we also have Nathan, who talks about Bookmap. It's a tool in the community that a lot of people use to really help visualize volumes and understand where some of the future volume might sit, where the orders are sitting. If you don't know about Bookmap, go take a look. If you do know and want to understand better how to use it, also go. That's Wednesday at noon. And then Thursday, finally, we should be able to be back at long last to our regular schedule of our mentorship. Unfortunately, the Thursdays have been taken out of the picture with all of the holidays that has happened over the last number of weeks. But this coming Thursday, everybody should be back at regular schedule. So John at 11, Jared and Megan talking options at 2, Lenny and Pierre talking at 4 o'clock back on equities, and then Thor on Thursday evening at 8 p.m. in his ever popular session. So we got all 4 of those coming up for you this coming Thursday. All right. So that's everything we've got. If you want to join us in the Bear Bulls chat room, we'd love to have you. Go to bearbulltraders.com. We've got a number of membership options you can see, from the intro right through the elite annual. They will allow you access to a room where we trade live every hour the market is open. We start early. We often go late, just as there's things to talk about. We'll definitely hear from 9:30 to 4 every single day. And it's a great group of people. It's not just about the moderators and the mic. It's about the community you get to trade with and work with here. It's a great group. So hopefully you will join us sometime soon. Carlos, let's set some levels. We're getting closer here to the open, so we need to keep moving.
Yeah, we'll go quick on this here. Let's look at Delta, guys. Delta this morning looking really good. Will be on my list. I also have American Airlines on the secondary. Let's set some levels. 67.45 is the high of the pre-market towards the bottom. The low is hanging out right where the low from the last 2 trading days ago, right? So I'm not going to worry too much about that. It's right out there around that 60.15. Towards the top, we do have some daily levels. If we look at the left here, we have some great areas of support and resistance. 63.40. We'll mark that there right where the price action is right now too. You can see if we draw a line on there, that's 65.21. We do have an area of resistance here going back into November. So I definitely want to have that down as well. And look at our pre-market high, slamming it into some recent highs here around December as well. So there you have it. And someone mentioned all-time highs on Delta. Let me check. Let's go back. No, they've been higher. The airlines guys before the pandemic, these guys were crushing it. They were booming, man. So let me see. If we go back
you
here,
say they were flying high?
They were flying high. They really were.
But had to get my dad joke
high.
in. I need.
Yeah, you got it. Except the Max A for a while. The Max A was flying way too low. But yeah, they were flying high here, man. They were doing pretty good. But actually, no, you're right. All-time highs on Delta. Wow, the recovery, man, has been awesome. Wow. Okay. So yeah, all-time highs on Delta. That is really, really nice. But yeah, we'll have them on deck here. Looks good. Again, I also have American Airlines as well on deck. That is not an all-time highs, but also getting some volume this morning. RGTI. Let's go to that one. If we look here on IGTI, if I remove some levels, we are sitting here just above the low from last day of trading. I was going to say yesterday, but last day of trading on Wednesday. Low of the pre-market 9:30, and we're trying to hold this level Again, not doing so hot lately here. Below that, we do have 721. We do have shares for sure on this one. It will be on my list. And this thing, even though it's a lower price stock, it is trading very well. Normally, I stay away from these lower price tickers, but this one is proven to be a great trader, and we have traded a couple of times, Peter included. So I'm looking forward to seeing this one on deck this morning. So there it is, highs and lows covering the price action. So you're pretty set when it comes to this one. Let's take a look at the PLTR. So PLTR again getting a downgrade from JP Morgan like everybody else is. 6502 is the low of the pre-market there. And then below that, we are going to, let me see here. This is the big one here. It's going to be 6152. But I do want to have also this one, 6316. Again, I know I'm pretty zoomed down. I'm zooming a little bit more. This 6323, I think is worth noting. You got a couple of days slamming into that. As you guys slam that thumbs up over on YouTube as well. So really appreciate it. It helps us out a ton. All right, then above the price action, we do have the previous day close, highs and lows for the last 2 trading days. You don't need to add anything else there. Let's take a look at AMD. I like AMD, man. AMD is showing a lot of weakness. They have not been doing well as far as their overall picture, man. They're just down. And today they're making a new low at 117.45. So I do like them when they start getting to these major levels. We can see a lot of weakness, a nice flush, or we can see some kind of support building up that can take them back to that 122. That previous day close is actually hanging out. So I think either way, we have some good stuff happening here with AMD. We do have NVIDIA. I think Andrew's on. We do have NVIDIA here as well. So if we look at NVIDIA towards the top, highs and lows for the last 2 trading days, showing a little bit of weakness here, especially after the jobs number has recovered a little bit since then. But for the most part, down 2.1, 10 million shares traded. So we got the volume there. This will be a fun one to watch as we go into this feels like Monday, Friday, this trading day. We'll see how things play out. 131.68 is the next level I see on the daily. And then we also have 128.38. Those are pretty nice areas. Again, I don't think we'll get a flush like that, especially after hitting all-time highs and slamming down. Was this $13? So NVIDIA, we'll see what high plays out today. But I do love the volume this morning. So, Peter, that's what I have on deck for our watch list. What's going on with our moderators and what are they watching this morning?
All right, let's go through the moderators list. We've got a few of them in here this morning. We'll start with Lenny, who's going to be watching NVIDIA, AMD, Tesla, RGTI, Walgreens, WBA, Delta, and American Airlines. Eamon thinks that he might be have a long opportunity in Amazon, but he's going to keep an eye on that. Thor, as usual, watching the markets overall in the SPY and the Qs, and of course the Magnificent Seven stocks. Jared is going to be watching the quantum stonks. I love it. Haven't heard the stonks term in a while, but interesting. He's going to focus on the sector, IONQ, Rigetti Spaghetti, QBUT, QBTS, all of our friends. Mike, as always, keeping it tight here with just Apple and Tesla. Avi watching the Magnificent Seven and a secret stock you won't tell us about. So, all right, maybe AMD. I don't know. He's mentioned that several times in the past, but he'll keep it a secret. Brian's going to be watching Tesla, NVIDIA, AMD, and IONQ. Phil watching NVIDIA, the SPY, AMD, and Apple. I have actually bumped AMD to my secondary list. So there we go. Tesla, NVIDIA, and Apple are on my top list. Secondary is AMD, Delta, and PLTR. Like I said, like a frightened child watching a horror movie. I'm going to watch WBA out of the corner of my eye, but don't plan to do anything with it. Andrew is going to be watching Delta, NVIDIA, TQQQ. So that's a derivative basically of the Qs, IONQ and AMD. So I guess it's an ETF like the others, but there you go. So that's what our moderators have got. Hopefully you've got something interesting that you want to watch out of that list, or pick your own. We just go through these to give you an idea of what we like and what we think might be moving. Of course, we reserve the right to change our mind the second that opening bell rings, and depending on what we see out there in the markets. So trade smart, everybody. We've got Andrew ready to go, and we'll hand it over to our live traders to get us ready for this open and take us on. Andrew, good morning. Did you rest up over the holiday? How you feeling today?
Good morning, sir. No, there was no holiday for me. Yesterday, I was actually working at the office. I am a little bit dressed up, but not too much. But I am ready to trade and see where we are going, actually. So the job numbers came in, and as we see, the market gap down. Market didn't like the job numbers. Mr. Morning, me.
Good morning.
Doesn't.
Wow.
Good morning, sir.
I'm just selling more IONQ at 32. What the heck?
Yeah, this IONQ is crazy, huh? What is the news
Wow.
on this IONQ just going down 5-6%?
Can we
Mm,
can we get a Foursquare, Brendan, with Carlos and the rest of
Foursquare.
Carlos, did you not get the memo that it
Yep.
was Green Shirt Day? Did
I did
we
not.
forget to?
So
Because
something
apparently
has to
it's
happen here.
Uh-oh.
Someone
Yeah.
did not copy
What
me
what
on
happened there?
this.
Yeah,
Someone didn't get
I'm
the
gonna have a
memo.
red day now.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm gonna have a
Anyways,
red day.
all
Look
right, I
at
just
this.
noticed that. Look at that. All right.
Nice.
It's,
It's karma.
the market's
Something.
going down. At least in the pre-market, we might bounce back. SPY
Might
is
bounce back.
really trading around the pre-election area. So the pre-election area was around 585. So all the Trump effect has gone on the SPY at least. Q a little bit still. Q's like 511. Pre-election was around 500.
NVIDIA is bouncing back here. It's looking pretty strong. So that jobs number, same with AMD, that jobs number was, I think, a little bit stronger than people had expected. So yeah, interest rates on the long, even on the short end, have popped up here. So
Significantly. So TLT is
yeah.
85.
256,000 non-farm payrolls increase, and 2 years up to over 4.3, and the 10 years over is 4.76. Wow. Talked about 4.5 being sort of a psychological level. I would expect to see a bit of a pullback at the open. We'll get some selling, and based on what I'm seeing right now, we might get some buyers stepping in, but we'll have to wait and see what the price action tells us.
Yeah, exactly. So FOBO is also interesting. FOBO, even though it's lower price, but I traded 2 days ago, pretty nice. So
Yeah,
FOBO is also
yeah, you had a
interesting.
nice trade. Yeah, you had a nice trade on that. It's funny, Delta gapped up. They had earnings this morning, but they've been trading down ever since, and they're dropping. Both UAL and Delta are below the VWAP now, so possible shorts.
RGTI got destroyed. I missed trading on Wednesday, but RGTI got destroyed. Was it
Yeah,
because the NVIDIA CEO Jansen said that quantum computing is still far from reality? Is that why?
yeah. Yeah, all the quantum stocks literally got destroyed on that day. Yeah, I've traded RGTI Friday. It was amazing how much it sold off.
Yeah, it was gapping down 50%. AMD is also at a level. AMD is as a very important level. Once 18 has been a level, so bounce back. So we'll see where the volume is. CEG, what is that one? Hit the scanner. Constellation Energy. This one is also running up 16%. Constellation Energy is also interesting. Yeah, Quantum Mania was dumb, Gary. But we'll see this quantum mania, like in this sector, mania is happening all the time, everywhere. So,
Yeah.
guys, remember, guys, 1 minute to the open. YouTube guys, remember what you're seeing is delayed, and remember that you can actually join us in the chat room and watch me trade live, see my screen, and also have access to the chat room.
Yeah, and all the educational stuff if you choose to join us. All the mentoring,
Mr.
all
President.
the yes, sir. Here we go. IONQ. I'm still long a bit here. Again, I don't take huge positions during the market open or pre-market, but it still looks strong. There's an order at 34. We're through the VWAP right now. All right, here we go. Ding, ding, ding. Everybody.
Ding, ding, ding. Let's go over the volume is.
Yeah.
I
IONQ
and
pulling back.
you setting off, trying to see where the recent volumes.
that's
PLTR also has a very nice volume.
So I expected. We're going to see a sell-off at the open here.
Over looks like he wants to pop towards 6. Some bigger asks standing up. I'm have a rule of waiting for 1 minute. PLTR is also popping up. He wants to go to 67. Let's see where the 1 minute ends for a lot of them. Tesla is weak.
Out of IONQ for the time being. Let's see what it does.
I'm gonna get a short on Tesla at 398, 389. Get a short on Tesla at 390. See if you can go to the next level down. NVIDIA is going down very nicely.
Wow. We're getting a lot of selling here, starting out the day.
Tesla comes here. I'm going to get a stopped out on it above the VWAP, which I think I'm going to get stopped out.
Wow, that snapped back a lot.
I'm going to get a stopped out, guys. Tesla, I'm going to stop that. Tesla might actually go green now. It's just squeezing really bad. Yeah, Tesla squeezed back. Tesla might actually be a long. Yeah, this candlestick on 1932 is super bullish. So everybody like me was weak. So FOBO 55 potentially wants to go through 6. Trying to see the monitor the price action. I'm long also FOBO 590. Let's see if FOBO can actually go through 6. The volume comes in. Big ask at 6. Slow and green.
Yeah, Tesla's. See, look at that, turned and burned.
Yeah.
Tesla's green now.
I'm going to get off stop out on FOBO. Yeah, I'm going to get stopped out on FOBO. Let's see IONQ. So 2 losses here. IONQ, wow, dropped significantly. This is crazy,
IONQ
huh?
really took a big hit.
Wow, Tesla's amazing. Tesla's great opening. Yeah. Tesla. Did anyone want to Philip Tesla too long? This is going to go to 400.
Would have been difficult.
Delta, Delta popped up to 66. Yeah, I'm going to get a long on Delta line at 66. Let's see if you can go to pre-market high. NVIDIA is doing AMD. All right. Oh, there you go. There you go. Delta is popping up nicely. Let's see if we can go to a little bit higher. NVIDIA is super weak.
Yeah. kind of surprising.
Nice, Farhad. Yeah, Tesla's turned out to be super nice long. Let's see if Delta can pop up a little bit more. I think a little bit more on Delta, 66.20. It's kind of choppy, jumping up and down, but the higher pre-market would be 67. Yeah, nice, Amen. Very nice. CG is also nice. NVIDIA is going down.
I'm short.
NVIDIA is super weak.
I'm short AMD. Let's see what it goes here.
I'm still long Delta. I want to see it get a 5-minute range break up towards 67.
Here we go. Just
AMD
covering
and
some
NVIDIA semis are not great. Yeah, Fobo.
just covering some AMD. 1693. Here we go. Covering some more here at 80, 116.80.
We go toward the higher pre-market. Delta. With that
Here's more. Here's more. Here we go. Now we're down, covering some more, 116.60.
Ah, beautiful. Like Delta. See if Delta can break the 67.
Damn.
Yeah, Delta. I wouldn't be surprised. Test the all-time high, 67.49. Guys, Delta, I'm long. I haven't even partialed in Delta yet. Right now, I'm partialing a little bit here, 67.10. Nice. That was a very nice 5-minute range breakout. And let's see if we can actually get to all-time high.
Wow, that was a pretty significant pullback on Tesla. Tesla's really erratic. Okay, here's maybe get another leg here on AMD.
Semis are super weak. Delta wants to go to 67.49, which is the all-time high.
Some big orders at 116 on AMD.
Down 2%. What's TNA doing, Brian? Should get some TNA.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know. Interest rates keep going up. Here comes 116 on AMD.
AMD is super weak.
Giant
AMD is down 5.
Giant order at 115 too. Here we go. Come on, get into that. Get into that liquidity pool.
Yeah, the weekly chart is a moving average. I don't know if I'm gonna respect that or not, but definitely is not a fun time for AMD in the daily chart. Delta, the only position that I have is long heavy Delta. I want to see if the Delta can actually do anything. Ubo is a piece of garbage.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. Covering some more. 116. Beauty. Wow, Nvidia is really dropping too. Holy cow.
I know. I mean, I was thinking of taking a short on these semis, but I got short Tesla by mistake. So far, Delta has been super nice for me. Anyone in this with me on in Delta?
I looked at trading Delta. I almost thought I would do it.
Actually get to break up all-time high. I think a little bit here at 67. Let's see if I can actually get to what's my new average. Yeah, let's see if I can actually get to 67.90. Always coming back up.
Ooh, IONQ is coming back up. It's bouncing.
What's this IONQ doing? What does this company do? I know you were trading it
I
all the
think
time.
it's a quantum stock, I think.
Just quarter. Oh, volatile. Look at that. Oh, sorry. Now look at that. It looks like a bad trade. I'm gonna get a long on IONQ here. Stop loss, very small share size. Always coming back up. Delta doing. Let's see if, Delta booked all-time high, guys. Sorry, I'm partialing out 67, 64. Nice. Congratulations, everybody who traded Delta with us. Thank you for flying Delta with us.
Yeah, wow, IONQ still going. Tisk tisk.
Delta is now hitting the scanner too. Delta 68 might be.
Could be.
All right, so IONQ, I also got long with you, Brian, and maybe it's the time to get out of it. Actually,
Well, I'm not long it right now. I
think of maybe we
traded
can
it
get to
pre-market.
32. It's a little bit scary to hold this. This is really moving significantly. There must be low float on IONQ, yeah?
I'm not sure. Not sure if it is.
Yeah, kind of getting out of it because I just don't like. Yeah, it's super. Yeah, it is super. It's not. Moves a lot. Like I don't know. I'm having difficulty to reading its price range. I had a great trade on Delta. Like I am amazingly profitable on it. 68,
Yeah,
66 to 68. Trading all-time high, stock in play. There you go. Beautiful. Anyone
yeah.
added on
I'm just
67 too with me?
still short AMD. I
Yeah,
think
I'm
it's going to go to
I still have
115.
5,000 shares of Delta. It was a great trade, guys, on Delta. It's a great trade on Delta. It's AMD doing. My biggest loss was Tesla. The
Tesla's
open.
just super erratic. Like it's all over the place.
Personally, blame myself for shorting Tesla. There was a setup for it, but what I do blame myself was why not flipping position to the long? I could. Um, so
Nvidia's trying to bounce here. This 135 level, I think there's some support there.
So what's the report that is coming at 7? Do we have any new things coming?
There's consumer sentiment at 10 a.m.
Your sentiments, brother. Nice, nice. So Joe is asking, okay, you reached your target. So what you can do is, if you are really, in this case, there's a couple of things you can do. Like me also like that. So I'm actually made enough money on this really amazing trade, and you know, I don't want to take any other trade. What you can do, you can leave some and use the maybe trading a stop loss and just let it go. Just move, you know, maybe give it like, I think that's a lot, like maybe $1 trading a stop loss, and it just follows it significantly for you. That's pretty nice. 69, that would be nice. Go to 69 is Elon Musk's favorite number. Yeah, and go for a walk. Wow, that is such a nice trade on Delta Airline. Super nice. Yeah, all-time high, stock in play. This is just a typical stock in play, like very textbook stock in play, and it's very strategy like Delta Airline. Bitcoin is at 95,000. AMD has no momentum to the upside, Brian. Just continue going down.
Yeah, I know. I'm
Wow.
just waiting for 115 here. An order has shown up at 117, so see where it goes.
AMD,
Yeah.
very somehow bottoming price action. It's a moving average on the
Still a
weekly
big
chart
order.
at 115.84.
Wow, Nvidia's back at the View app. That's nice. Nice.
LTR is down. Yeah, Delta is amazing, guys. Like, it's gonna hit the 69. There you go. I'm gonna get out of it at more at 69. I only have 2,000 shares on it. One trade, Tesla. Yeah, see, as soon as they get it stopped out, so you want long doing. That's great. See, one man misery is another man fortune. So, Tesla might be a short at
I don't
393.
know.
I'm shorting again
It just
Tesla.
seems it's just
Let's see.
throwing these massive wicks. It's just crazy.
Ooh,
I don't know if Tesla. I don't. It doesn't seem
you don't
tradable
trust
today
it,
to
huh?
me. No,
Yeah, bad idea. Not a bad idea to stay away from Tesla today. I mean, eventually it finds a
I don't
direction.
know.
The market dropped significantly.
Yeah,
So not a bad idea to stay
it's
away
true.
from Tesla today, because we also have better things to trade. Like sometimes, some days we have nothing to trade, and you have to wrestle with these choppy stocks. But Tesla
Yeah,
today
just
isn't necessarily.
pick something that's trending like AMD. Still going down. We're going to go to 115.
Nvidia is going to go break the low of the day too. I think Nvidia is
Yeah,
going to
look at
go
that.
super
Look at
down.
that. What an amazing rejection at the View app on Nvidia. Wow.
There you go. That's going down. 390. I'm going to partial stop Tesla here. 390. If I can actually get out of my losses back, that would be nice.
Here's comes 115. I'm going to get out AMD. Pretty much done here.
So you were short AMD, huh? Yeah. So this is a level
Yep.
that I don't see any sign of a strength in AMD, but that's an area that weekly chart is a moving average at 115, around 115. Is it that level? Yeah, somehow around this area is like a weekly moving average. I don't swear on this level, but there is potential for a reversal. That's the only thing that I have here. Easy, like AMD's movement of the company based on nothing. It's just all right. So what did you trade? Trade shorted Qs like a boss right at the open at 511. Shorted like a boss. I love that. Horse trading is interesting. It's not good. It's not going but what is fashionable and what is hot. He just trades Qs like a boss. Not getting sidetracked by what is trendable. So I have two positions right now. Tesla, which is very nice, short. As you see on my screen, 393. I want to see if it can actually get to 388.50 low of the day, which looks like it wants to go. And I do have Delta Airline long still with the average of 66.11. Well, we got a really good move on Delta, so I don't know if I am actually should hold it or not. Turned out to be a nice day, so you don't much from life. You can just thank God it's Friday, Cindy. Yes. So you know what we should do, guys? Now that it's Friday, you should go and book your Vancouver Summit, guys, because the hotel is actually increasing the rate soon. So this is the time for you to join us in Vancouver. Come on, guys! New Year resolution. You can join us for a 3 days amazing event in Vancouver. Trade live together. It's the biggest live trading event in the world. I don't think anyone else has 200 people sitting down together and trade together. And you can be part of it. Guys, please sign up, guys, and book your hotel. A bunch of people are actually going to Whistler after that for skiing because it's still ski season in April. It's actually a very nice visit if you can spend one night in Vancouver. I mean, Whistler is also super nice.
Yeah, perfect opportunity to come out. And for the Americans in the crowd, the Canadian dollar is really weak. So you get about a 40%, you get about a 40% premium on your money.
Yeah, Vancouver is actually not it's a very cheap place to travel as a tourist. I know Vancouver is a very expensive city to live because per capita income of Canadian are low, and especially Vancouver salaries are low. There is no industry. But it's as a tourist, you can go book some of the recommendations, some of the best restaurants, the best foods ever in North America. You can just go with like $40, $50. These are I'm talking about Michelin star restaurants that usually go over 100. And so, yeah, join us, guys, because super excited. And we have 3 days. The TED, the TED conference is a little bit different from our conference because it's more like, fun. It's like entertainment and show. So it's 3-day conference can be too much, but this is a trap. This is how Trump takes over Canada. Actually, we are doing it in the Trump Hotel. Our event is at Trump Hotel.
Yeah.
It used to be here.
The old one. Yeah.
It used to be Trump, but they changed it to Paradox. And there was Ivanka Spa and there was Trump Tower, but they changed it. It's a very, very nice hotel. It's 5-star hotel.
Yeah, it's super nice.
Showing as a recon. Get some info. All right, let's see if Tesla. I'm sure it's still Tesla, guys. I want to see if Tesla can actually break the 387. Delta Airline, I lost my hope on it. I gave up. Like a parent that your kid is gone, so I gave up on that. But I'm still holding it. But kind of gave up on that. Refresh, Max. Refresh. Refresh and see if it works. If not, email me. SMCI. Yeah, SMCI is also popping up. Everything is popping up except this company that Brian. It's my only loss today.
What did I do?
IONQ. It's your suggestion. Cost us so much money.
Yeah. I didn't want to get into it. It was back at the View app, so could have gone either way from there. Tesla still looks weak. It's trying to hold here. There you go. It's heading lower. Maybe. Still some orders down 385, 380 on Tesla. But it's right down, Tesla's right down at Wednesday's low, so could find some support here. NVIDIA is trying to make its way back up. SPY is trying to bounce a bit here.
Yeah, sorry about that. It's short turned out to be pretty good. Let's see if on Tesla I can go lower.
Just trying to hold,
Right, so
I
something is
think.
happening in the market. I might actually get out completely of Delta Airline. I'm all out of Delta, guys. I'm all out of Delta at 67.89. It doesn't seem that it has the momentum of moving up and down as much as I like. Bonds are getting destroyed, Brian. Should we?
I know.
Should we buy?
I know.
EMF.
No, I
EMF
don't
is the
think.
leverage.
I don't think. Hmm?
You don't think it's a good idea, huh?
I don't. I'm not sure. I think there's a lot of. Still think there's a lot of questions about what new administration is going to do. I think people are nervous. I wouldn't. I think the bonds are in a downtrend. So until they show that maybe they're going to break that trend, I wouldn't be jumping into them. SPY's really, I'm just watching the SPY and the Qs are really still selling.
Hopefully the Tesla goes down with them too. The only position I have, guys, is now Tesla. Let's see if it can actually go down. But definitely Tesla looks like has found the bottom nearest tree. So it doesn't. So now I think it's kind of following the market. So let's see if the market is going to go down or not. Again, all the post-election pump is over for a SPY.
Seems like
SPY
it.
actually trades.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Something is
what?
dropping. Oh, there you go. It's garbage. Holy humanity.
What happened?
Tell me, I'm partial,
My
guys, on Tesla.
God, what happened there?
It's the news,
What
I think. It's
happened
10.
there?
I think at the 10 there was a
Oh, maybe
news.
the consumer sentiment, maybe.
I think today now the market is a little bit sensitive, but generally I don't know if consumer sentiment has any impact on the market.
Well, that was a number that was coming out at 10.
Michigan sentiment. Yeah, that was I know, but it seems to me that the market now is again very sensitive toward the rate. Well, since when, like sentiment?
Wow. Look at that drop on Tesla. Holy cow. 389
humanity.
to, oh my
The
God.
humanity. Tesla,
Wow.
I have 3,000 shares short, guys. Gonna go towards 384.
Wow, that was a big, and everything dropped. All right,
So
well,
384.
I don't have anything left here. AMD, I'm out of. Wow.
So we got
Qs
two
and
amazing
SPY.
trades built on Tesla. You two guys, did you make any money? Or you're still broke? 25 is rest so far. Well, I still have 2,000 shares short in Tesla. Would be interesting to see if it can actually go to 384 on a daily chart. A few days ago, Tesla went all the way up to down to 373. So, okay, maybe we'll go there.
Delta Airlines is rolling over a bit. It's could be a 920 here, or maybe a bounce off the VWAP.
Yeah, I don't know. Delta never really liked the price action on it. Like the order flow. I don't like the order flow on it.
It's an NYSE stock too, right?
Probably not very popular for retail trading. So I see the order flow is like kind of pulsing. We get a really nice we get a very, very nice move on it, but I don't. Nvidia is going down. What's AMD doing? AMD still going to the garbage?
Yeah,
Yes.
AMD's below 115 now.
Wow.
AMD, there's Nvidia's got some orders to the downside still, 134, 133.
The mass, I don't think gas it allows you. I don't think gas controls what you can trade or not based on your trial or not. I wish the platform would have that ability. So maybe there is another issue that you have. Are you in Europe? Because I know in Europe people can't trade the leverage products like ETFs, like TQQ or SOXL and stuff. Yeah, I know. I know in Europe, the leverage products is for the sake of yourself are illegal because they're super dangerous. Yeah, Dr.
Yeah, I
said you
think that's
go
right.
thank regulators because they're usually super they're like a bomb. Eventually, they pump up. I have a friend that she got into this SOXL. I told her many times that her average is 33. I told her many times just get out of it. The SOXL is kind of over, and it bounced back. She has no idea about trading, and now she's giving me a technical analysis advice too. No, you broke it. Just sell it. Like it bounce back. I can't wait until this blow up on her one way or another. Like, not it's not that I can't wait, but I'm sure it's gonna happen. Stop from messing around with these leverage products. So so in Europe, no ETF at all. That can't be true.
Hmm.
You can't everything or just non-US ETFs only. So US based ETFs you can't own it. But what about single companies individually like Tesla and stuff? My friend that I was actually talking about, she's on YouTube. She's listening to me. I'm sorry.
She's
Text me.
what?
Don't talk about me. She's listening from YouTube. She texts me and said, "Don't
Oh.
talk about me."
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, yeah. Shit, can't say anything with this YouTube. We can't say anything.
No.
Damn. Oh, in Europe, you can actually trade CFDs. That's actually pretty good. CFDs are for the people who have no money or they want excessive leverage. Maybe the Tesla is going down, so I should copy a little bit more Tesla here. Yeah, market is completely rolling over. SPY, Q's 2% there.
Wow, Q's and SPY are still dropping. No love. No love today.
Anybody?
Oh.
Should you buy, Brian? Should we go all in on something? I'm feeling that I should buy something.
Yeah, maybe Nvidia. I don't know. Seems like people end up going back there.
And, I still can't believe that this Nvidia pump up to 154 and then it sells off 10%. I just can't believe that. Trades like a meme stock, the biggest company in the world. All right, so read everything everywhere. A lot in the market. There's one sector is the energy is a strong XLE.
Yeah.
Energy is still up.
Yeah, crude oil is up. I think it's up at $75 a barrel. My X trade is swing trade is up. It's up 93 cents today.
Your X is up.
X is up.
Yeah, it's a good X, huh? Your ex-wife or is your ex-girlfriend?
Delta bounced up. Wow, SPY is still dropping here. So Nvidia, AMD.
What is Broadcom
Tesla.
doing? AVGO is also
Probably down. All the Mag 7 is down. Apple's down 6x. Amazon's down 5.5. Meta's
2 weeks
down
ago when
12.
Tesla was at 487. I wanted to buy like $200,000 puts on 500. Brian talked me out of it. Being in a different league. That puts where I would have been like private jet type of guy. If you want to really go to a different level, you got to take one of these trades. Like put $500,000 on a put on something like that, and it goes up. Easy. Not retired, but in a good way, like private jet, a different league of people. Like now I'm an employee, like I'm making good money. I have to wake up every morning. But these 500 Tesla puts, it's so obvious that is a bubble. In New York City, somewhere with a lot of money, private clubs. Actually, I don't want to go any of this. These are the things that I'm talking. Is not. I'm not drinking at all. It's just. I don't want to be in that environment. All right. So Tesla broke down. That's good. So I mean, we make good money on Tesla right now today. So you can actually see my P&L guys in my position. It turned out to be a super nice trade. So still at 2,000 shares. The day really amazing thanks to Delta Airline and Tesla. So the life is pretty good on this front. So yeah, you can see my P&L and everything here. Life is super awesome right now. But do you want, Brian, do you want to become like a billionaire class, like private jet everywhere, bodyguards and stuff?
Not really. It doesn't appeal to me. I'm happy with my life the way it is. I don't think
Maybe more
excessive amount of money,
friends.
any more happiness.
What makes you happy, Brian? More girlfriends?
More girlfriends, more friends. Just watching
More
the
coffee,
SPY.
please. Yeah, actually, that's a good idea, John. More coffee is actually better. So that means instead of having
More
this kind of
coffee.
nonsense conversation, let me get more coffee for myself.
See if we can get a bounce here on the SPY.
All right, guys. Sorry, Tesla. Do you see that week?
Wow.
I think that week was kind of one transaction that happened. I don't think the price actually came down all the way.
No,
So
I don't think so too. That's
must have
just a
been a
weird.
block trade. Wow, Apple is also really selling off.
Yeah.
Apple is selling off like a boss. ELTR. He's selling off.
Yeah, it looks like AMD is trying to find a bottom here. Same with NVIDIA. AMD's at the 9
reversal,
EMA
huh?
right now.
Yeah, what do you think about the reversal? Let's get some AMD long. I'm getting some AMD long at 115. See if we can get a small pop on it.
Okay, I'll try that too.
So, Paul, I think the best way for you is just go through the funded accounts. If you can't trade any of these, you can actually go through our funded account and trade that. Yeah, be careful of this AMD. I think it's a little bit, what time is it? 10:14. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm actually regretting. I'm in a different state of day right now. I'm actually pretty profitable. I don't know if it's. I want to expose myself to another AMD. trade.
You just keep a tight stop on it. I wouldn't want to see it drop below sort of 1490-ish. Give it 10 cents. See if we can get up to the 9 EMA, which would be, or 20 EMA, which would be 50, 115.50. So 5-to-1 risk to reward. There is a big order, or there's an order there, 115.50. SPY and Qs are bouncing.
He's
Come on,
Rigetti.
AMD.
It is popping.
Yeah, I was thinking I should have done this with Nvidia, not AMD.
Yeah, but we are past the rigor time. Let's see. Yeah, we're gonna go.
All right, well, I'm gonna have to see if I.
SPY dropped significantly at 10 as the slowly bouncing back. AMD break this one.
I'm out AMD. Stupid. Should have
Paper
traded.
hand, huh?
Should have traded Nvidia. Video is a trade.
Yeah, NVIDIA bounced back. Yeah, kind of regret following your advice always, Brian. Giving it a little bit more, another chance. Always give people another chance. Let's see if it's actually break the law of the day. It looks like it wants to go break the law of the day, but the problem with AMD, the problem with this trade is it was more like a gut feeling trade. I don't have really any trade book here because it hasn't hit my extreme reversal trade book. And the moving averages are crossing over. And it's not a double bottom, because double bottom, you're looking for this for the stocks that are actually gapping up, not gapping down. So yeah, I'm actually getting out of it like you, Brian. 114.75. What's Tesla doing? I'm still sure.
Yeah, I just got long a little Nvidia just to see if it goes up to the VWAP here. 135.
You guys, strong economy, bad for rate policy. Yes, you said it. You said it very nicely. A strong economy is not necessarily good for rates.
No one wants to see a strong economy. Still a lot of orders to the downside on Nvidia. Yeah.
Get back on AMD, 140.90. See what I can do, just out of boredom. I get my losses back, I'm happy. Go jump above 115. Get my losses back. I'm not greedy. Just give me my losses back. I don't want more from life. That's it. I made my losses back. Anything from life. Just give me that little profit so I can actually come out of this thicker green. Tesla's bouncing back. Market looks like it's bouncing
Tesla
back.
bounced back, yeah. Market's bouncing back.
What's IWM doing? Does it look like
Here we go.
Hey, should we buy some TNA? I have some cash. I don't know what to do with it. What should I buy? This is my YOLO account. I have an account that has YOLO in it. Like when I was in Tibet in China, I bought the SOXL. That was a really good time. I made. That's why I got the Lamborghini based on this YOLO account. So
I'm
it's
just
not a
just sold a little bit of the Nvidia trade at 135.30. Just see if I can get to go up to where am I looking?
humanity. You're looking at humanity, Brian.
135.60 would be nice. Be another exit point, or 135. Here we go. Q's and SPY are bouncing right back here.
Yeah, so I'm getting out of completely this AMD trade. So I came out of it positive. So for $200, that's good. VKS. Going to Vegas. Maybe we can gamble on Vegas.
And you're speaking in Vegas, aren't you?
Yes, February, guys. So February, I have money show presentations in Paris. Money show presentations are pretty nice. I like that. Not that because I speak in there, but generally I learn every time that I go, I learn something nice in there. It's worth the investment. But you know what's actually worth more in terms of investment? Vancouver, coming to our Bareboat Traders Summit.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Someone from South Carolina is coming. Who is in South Carolina? Do we have anyone in South Carolina? Oh, there you go. Mr. President also gets no jail time.
I was thinking coming to Vegas with you.
Yeah, come. Yeah, come, definitely. All right, so the news that President Trump is not going to get any jail time, so that's good in Bloomberg things.
That was kind of...
Yes. So, Dylan, that's a good question about trade webinar. We're actually going to make that page with the webinars on Trading Terminal. Yes. Yeah, no, that's amazing. We have actually a lot of really nice webinars on Trading Terminal. I'm going to I asked my team today to create that webinar. So, yeah, come to Vancouver, guys. I actually really, really like to see so many of you in Vancouver.
Yeah, our event last year was amazing. So many people. Everybody had a great time. Learned lots.
AMD finally popped up, Brian. Yeah, as soon as I got out of it.
I know, I can see that. My Nvidia trade's still working. Just gonna maybe sell some more, just a little bit more here. 45. Oh, there we go, through 50.
Nice. Who else is coming to Vancouver, guys? AMD, look at that.
AMD's such a trickster. Pulls back. Knew it would pull back and then pop up. Ooh. Okay, so 920 on both the SPY and the Qs. We're at the 20 EMA on both of them.
Wait a minute, Chris. You said you can't make it to Vancouver. Now you're coming. Or you're talking to Vegas.
Okay. Okay, here we go. 135.65, selling more.
NVIDIA back to the top. That was a good
yeah.
guys, yes. Scott is VIP in Lamborghini. VIP, yes. It's true.
Someone asked for RGTI. I don't know. Sorry, I didn't catch that.
10:24 feels like a lifetime today. Let's see what the question. Let's get some questions, guys. What do we Delta bull flag. So let's take a look at Delta, see what happened to the Delta. Yeah, Delta looks like it's slowly putting this ABCD pattern bull flag. But the problem with Delta is the problem with this pattern is when you're getting toward the midday, it becomes less and less trustable, these bull flags, ABCD pattern. Or when it's actually going through the rest of the day. Any question, guys, from chat room or from YouTube?
That's what Rigetti looks like on Bookmap.
Is there minimum volume you look for 1 minute open range candle? I think more than the minimum volume for me is the order flow. So one of the reasons that I really like trading Tesla or NVIDIA is just the order flow is really nice. So even if the volume is low, but the order flow is very uniform and it just keeps going, like the time and sells, I think it's very, very, desirable. Like and also so the order flow depends also on the price and also the total volume as well. So something like a smaller share size price stocks, they actually get a much better order flow because people would obviously buy more shares on them. For the capital that goes in there, you have to calculate them. When you calculate it, so there are more orders. My win loss, I think, Ahmed, I mean, you know better my account better than myself, Ahmed. You always keep an eye on that. But let's take a look at it today. So AMD, there was 2 trades. So I came down profitable, so 50%. Delta was 1 trade. So 3 trades. FOBO was 2 trades. 1 loss, 50% again. Like IONQ was 1 trade loss. So now 50%. My accuracy is mostly 50%, my win-loss ratio. Well, what you want to do is you want to keep, so again, as you see, you can actually see my trades here. I'm sharing in my screen. So AMD was 2 trades. Delta was 1 trade. FOBO was 2 trade. IONQ was 1 trade, thanks to Brian. Tesla was also 2 trades. So in total, 3, 5, 6, 8 trades. And half of them were loss, half of them were profit. So 50%, that's what you need, 50%. But what you need is risk management. So, and then, or proper adding or, trade management on that. That's what you actually make it really, really profitable. We published research paper on that, on the opening range breakout with Carlo. The accuracy was only 25%. But when you actually let the winners run, then you become very profitable.
All right. Well, that was a pretty decent trade on Tesla. Or NVIDIA, I should say, what am I talking about?
So when I started trading, I never had any money in my life. So I started trading when I actually came out of PhD, UBC, and then I started having like some paycheck. So I don't remember how old was it. I think I was 31. So my salary was I was living paycheck to paycheck when I was at UBC. and then I think it was I was 31, and then my salary became after tax became like $4,000 a month. So every 2 weeks there's $2,000 a month. And then our rent was $2,000. So my ex-wife and I just each of them were depositing $2,000 for our expenses, and $2,000 goes into the account for trading. And that was the moment that I started trading. That's what I just coincide with the time that I met Brian, and then that was the first time that I had $4,000 in my account that I didn't know what to do with it after 3 months. And then I asked Brian what to do, and then Brian told me go buy Baba, and then I lost everything on Baba, and later LABU. So, but that was around the time. But I got hooked up. I mean, the moment that I started trading on that money, and this, I can do that. I can make $50 by just a click. I got really hooked up. I knew that, damn, I want to do this. I love it. So
Got you addicted.
yeah, so that was the moments that I got hooked up on trading. And at the beginning, like even not at the beginning, all the way up to 4 or 5 years after, people who followed my journey for a long time was like very small trading, like $50, $100, $200. And we had my cat. Some still traders that remember that time. After pandemic, my account got bigger. I went to $1 million account, and then just made a lot of money after pandemic. And then the days like $40,000, $50,000 is actually pre-retest because now my account size is much bigger. And it's funny because the fundamentals of trading hasn't changed for me. Even though my account size has gone up bigger, the fundamentals that I'm trading, the levels and everything that I takes hasn't changed. And that's, I think, is a good thing to keep it simple, don't change it too much. And it seems that something working for me. There are lessons that I learned, like for example, you can have pivot points, or you don't mess around with the leverage products too much. But generally, the fundamentals of my trading is still the same. Over the years, what I learned is actually you can actually, the concept of the trade book is something that the strategy, but do you have a trade book on it? That's a little bit different. I think Earl has been trading longer. I don't know, Brian, you can talk about his profit and loss in the story. And I think Brian is like human, like all of us. He has done mistakes. I think he has also an account that he's back holding some of these penny stocks and stuff. You remember that he told me. So
Sure. I've had some losses. Can talk about.
do you remember that you told me that you had an account like $50,000, one of these penny stock garbage stuff that you were stuck in it? Do you still have it, or you sold
Yeah.
it?
No, I sold it. It was a pot stock, actually. It was during the pot mania. I was up a lot on it, and I didn't. I broke two rules. I should have taken some profits, and I didn't because I thought, talked myself into the idea it was going to go higher. And then when it started to slowly sell off, I I didn't honor my stop, and so I ended up losing a fair amount of money on that one, 30 or 40,000.
That was the
So
$40,000 loss on it.
yeah.
What was the ticker? What was the ticker?
What was the ticker? Let me think. What was it? It's still trading. It's trading
VID.
around. It's trading around 8 cents now.
Was it VID, or what was it called? Oh shit, Tesla's coming back to my. I'm gonna get out of Tesla, guys. By the way, I covered all of my Tesla short. Tilray. No, I think it was this TSXV. I think it was a Toronto. Dude, if I
Yeah,
lose that much money in stock, I would never
it
forget
was a
that.
venture. It was a venture exchange stock. Yeah, Toronto Venture.
Yeah, pot stocks. I remember pot stocks like CGC.
Yeah.
I remember that CGC, we were trading it back in, was it 2018? Wow, man, $500. Yeah, we were not trading it at $500. This one did the reverse split, but pot mania was beautiful. Like Tilray, CGC. How many of you are remembering those times? Swamp, you remember that, huh? How many of you survived it from 2017-18 to here? Like, who remembers that? CGC, Tilray. Oh man, it was such a great time. Good old days.
The good old days. Yeah.
The fundamentals are still the same. Like this quantum mania, AI mania, crypto. Like crypto is not a mania anymore, but these sectors that it gets crazy, like the recent one that I think it was quantum. All these. Like, do you see these whips, and it happens all the time. These pockets of volatility goes from sector to sector. Yeah, that was good old times. Tilray was another one. Tilray. Still trading Tilray? It's down 10% today.
It was Willow. It was Willow Biosciences. That's what it was.
Video bites. What was the ticker? You know that?
I'm trying to forget.
Brian, I'm going to interrupt you for that.
That was so
It's just
stupid.
Video.
But I've had some. I've had some great trades too. When gold stocks. This was like years ago. All the gold stocks took off with Bre-X, and I made some great money. I bought some stocks at 20 cents, and they went to $20. But
Yeah, this one is WLLW.to. So this is this is the.
oh, Willow.
Was there
Yeah,
this one?
WLLW.
Yeah. Video Biosciences, huh?
Yeah, I bought it I bought it under $1 and it was at 240, I remember at one point, and I thought maybe I should sell some. I thought, no, it's going to go to 4. Rigetti is some of these quantum stocks are, look at this, IONQ, Rigetti all popping up here.
Oh yeah, I know.
Holy
Now the
crap.
market got strength. It's just bouncing back again. These Rigettis and this the stock mania, they're all like moving with the market, but on a asteroid. Like, look at that Rigetti from the 8 to the 10.6 is crazy. Tesla came. I'm all out of Tesla, guys. So I have no position, but Tesla came out of 2 break-even points. What did AMD do? AMD, oh, piece of garbage, bounce back. Garrett trades IONQ.
If anybody likes penny stocks, I've got another one for you. And I a full disclosure, I'm in it right now from about 15 cents. It's called Hydrograph Clean Power. It's graphene. They make it's a Toronto Venture Exchange stock. They make they have a process to make graphene. So it's at 24.5 cents right now, but I think it's going to move up, obviously. So this could be another.
What's the name of the company?
It's on Toronto. Hydrograph.
Yeah, Hydrograph.
Clean Power.
That's the
HG.
Yeah.
Again, penny stock, guys, and I'm in right now at a much lower price.
Well, we never pumped penny stocks in this community, but
no.
It's first time for everything.
Take a flyer.
Oh, they're Vancouver based.
Yeah, I think graphene.
$11.99.
I think
just
graphene
across the
is going
street.
to be I think graphene's going to be it's going to be more in the news as a company that's as a product that's it's got a lot of uses, and it's Like it can be put in plastics. It can be put in. I think it's good in the electronics industry. Improves performance. Look at Tesla's coming back up here. That's why I like it. I just like the story, graphene story.
What's your average? If it's not 44 cents, huh?
I'm in it. Some of it I'm in at like 12 cents, and the other and some more I'm in at 17. So probably my average is somewhere around 15, 14 or 15.
Nice. Super
Again,
nice.
I make no full disclosure, highly risky. They just did a they just did a financing, and actually the stock didn't drop, which I was shocked at. I thought it would drop a bit. Usually when the companies do financings, they're at a price that's below the market, and they didn't drop, didn't really react. So all right, well, we got the back to the VWAP on the SPY, and it's kind of rejecting there right now. Went through the VWAP on the Qs. NVIDIA's come back nicely today.
Yeah, it was nice. That was a really nice bounce in the market. That was the moment that I said I need to buy something. I should have gone on
Yeah.
something all in.
I should have just shouldn't have traded AMD because it's been such a dog. Should have just stuck with
Nvidia, yeah.
I should have just stuck with Nvidia because it's a darling. I'm still holding a little bit here. It's
Nvidia
still
is
going up.
amazing.
Yeah, it's still going up.
Walgreen, what's the ticker on Walgreen?
WAL.
WAL?
L. Yeah, I think so. Oh,
No, that's Western
WBA.
Alliance.
Sorry.
WBA, yeah.
Yeah,
WBA.
WBA. That's right. Walgreens boots.
Walgreen. This has been destroying in the last year. The retail has been under a lot of pressure.
What's your buddy Lulu doing?
Lululemon. Lulu is my favorite brand. Not
Yeah,
doing great.
speaking of Lulu.
Did after any popped up, but it's not
Yeah, it
really active.
had a good earnings report in early December. So it's come on well off its lows. Lows were around 250, 230.
So
Now
what
it's
did they
trading
trade?
almost 400. Wow.
So let's see so what did I trade today? I traded pretty much actually a lot of things. Um, so
You could sell the 400 calls on Tesla.
Today, how much are we gonna get?
Yeah. $1.50, $1.45.
The link calls
Problem is,
400.
problem is,
Good.
if I don't think the market's going to bounce back, but right now we've rejected the SPY on the SPY.
Definitely doesn't seem like it is. And then how can we protect it? If you buy that one, then we protect ourselves at 4.5. What do you think about Brian? For 47.50 with 50 cents.
I think we wait till it gets back to maybe if it gets back to previous day close. Well,
Right, so now the question is, jump just made 7% snap. Snap was hitting his scanner. Is it because of the TikTok ban? Because the Supreme Court is now hearing it right now.
I think it's it goes to the Supreme Court today. See if they're gonna. Is it a decision whether to hear the case, or is it? I can't remember. Is it a decision?
No, I think they agreed to hear it. The question is actually. The question is actually
extension.
Yeah, to that.
Yeah, they're gonna put it in. Yeah.
So that is Meta up because Meta also benefits from this. Even Meta is kind of up, yeah, considering the market is that. What about the Reddit RDBT? That one is down. BDA is such a great company.
Do you feel sorry for the all the TikTok influencers that are gonna lose?
Not really.
They still they
really.
have reels.
I mean, they can move to different platforms. I never really understood that. How come everything is banned in China, but we have to just deal through this?
Yeah.
Although TikTok, I mean, to some extent, it's American company. There's a lot of jobs in there that they have and stuff. But the fundamentals of having social media in a foreign controlled company, it's just never really made sense to me. But again, this wokeism is sometimes. Oh, there you go. Something happened on NVIDIA.
Yeah, look, we got a big pop in the Qs and the SPY.
Wow.
That? Yeah, that was a weird print.
Yeah, that was a weird print on NVIDIA. Yeah. So yeah, the whole idea is that allowing it, kind of an enemy somehow holding so much of power over your youth generation. It doesn't make sense to me at all.
No, especially the Chinese haven't been are just like, what are they doing? They're cutting they're cutting communication channels in undersea communication lines. It's unbelievable.
Something weird is happening in the market. Like NVIDIA, that pop was amazing. That was kind of weird. Something is weird is happening, Brian. It's happening. Well, Brian, I'm happy that we didn't do Tesla calls at 410, 400.
Yeah, no kidding. That's what I said. I think it looks, should probably wait.
Market is picking up steam. Look at that. Qs are ripping and SPYs ripping. Should we buy some SPXL maybe? What do you think, Brian?
Yeah. I don't know. I think, look, I'm looking at SPX options.
EQ. Catalina, no, those week doesn't impact. Not necessarily that those weeks are generated by algos. So the way that the trading platforms work is they are moving everything that goes into the time and sells. They're bringing it into the chart. Okay, so every transaction is going to happen. So, and if you have one transaction that happens at 75.50, for example, in the TQQ, then that line has to come down here and go back up. Even though there is no other transaction happening between 77 to 75, that line has to come because it has to just continuously collect these points. So now you want to ask a question that, okay, how was the transaction is happening at 75.50 when the price is 77, and what happens to all of this liquidity? Those are what we call them block trade, which essentially what happens is somebody sells in a direct, in Wall Street. I don't know, probably you've seen it in the movies. Hey, I got this one. It's on your screen. The guys see on screen, and then transactions happens. This still has to report, but it doesn't go through the normal liquidity of the market. And usually they're big volumes. Usually very, very big volumes. I think it happens on Tesla as well. So the direct. So you can see volume like 400,000 shares. So I mean, they're allowed to actually call them and say, "Hey, I have this at 377.37. You want it to say, okay, it's filled." They fill it. You've seen these movies. I don't know, margin call and stuff. So, and then it has to go through the time and sells, but it really eventually make that wicked in there. If this stocks is less liquid, that happened to me before, like a penny stocks and stuff. There could be manipulation, but for something like Tesla and Nvidia, when the liquidity is just infinity, then these kind of things are.
So that was it for the rally, apparently. Or maybe not.
Constellation Energy is up 25%. This one was on the news in Bloomberg. I don't remember what exactly these guys are doing. I think they're in the talk of a merge.
Yeah. More selling here. Might get a bounce. Tesla pulling back.
Then maybe we should have sold 400 calls.
Yeah, maybe.
The problem with the naked options trading is that, guys, like, it's my risk call. It's very dangerous for me. Like I've lost more on these trading options and selling calls and stuff. It's just I haven't learned the risk management on them properly. These naked calls and options, and in day trading, I'm pretty good because I can manage my risk. But when I'm selling like these 400 calls, I don't know where to get out and that kind of thing. And the volatile nature of these options is super dangerous. It's like a drug addict that I know. Oh, damn, I know. I'm getting to them.
So what do we talk a little bit about the upcoming event here in Vancouver? What we got planned? We've got TED Talk one day, a bunch of people.
Yes. Thanks for reminding me. Yeah, guys. So essentially, what do we have is one day at UBC, University of British Columbia, in downtown Vancouver. It's a very nice, small little campus. So it's auditorium. We're going to have the 13 presentation from the Dean of Applied Science of the Dean of Sauder School of Business at UBC is one of our speakers. It goes all the way up to, we have all sorts of people, like from from military. We have people that the theme is talk about mental resilience and peak performance. And the way that it works is that you're always on the top, and then you fall down, and then you have to come back up. So we try to tell you a story on that. So we have a really good roster of speakers, from athletes, from professional athletes. It's the captain of U.S. captain of national soccer in Olympic. All the way to, we have, one of my friends, really good friends, that he's a gay Egyptian, and he wants to talk about how to come up as a gay in a very conservative society like Egypt, and what he's been through to become the person who he is now. I think it's a really good friend of mine, so that would be a very interesting thing. So that's one day, and then after that we're gonna do a reception, drinks, and then the next day, actually the same day, we're gonna go all the way to a gala dinner. So we have also a very nice invited speaker, a paid speaker who wants to come and talk about the mental resilience at the dinner and the gala. And then after that, this is all Saturday, and after that, I actually booked a Mansion nightclub for ourselves. So we go in there. I have 3 of my favorite DJs are coming, and we party, because Paris is a party animal, and he wanted this. So I expect Paris. See you in the chat room. Hopefully they can hear that. Yeah, but so Paris said we want party. We are like, okay, we'll get you the nightclub. It's actually a very nice nightclub, Mansion. Very nice. I throw my party for 7 Summits there, and you're talking about all Saturday, sorry, and then Sunday. Again, full day of together from UBC. That we do the TED Talks, and then after reception, and the dinner together, and then party. And the nightclub closes at 3. So hopefully nobody goes into the after party. Nobody goes to the other people's rooms. Just show up sharp at 10 a.m. for our main conference on Sunday. So we do our Sunday. We have speakers and more technical presentations, so you got to be sober up. Again, the food is also included. And then we go until to Monday morning, which is a live trading together. And after live trading, I'm going to have a couple of other speakers, and finish it on Monday at 1 p.m. So you can fly in on Friday, and then fly out on Monday afternoon. The hotel is discounted rate, guys, and love that. Just book it in there if you want. If not, anything nearby, I live there, the office there, everything is in nearby, just walking distance. There are cheaper hotels as well too, but Paradox is pretty good, I think, for the rates that you're getting. And some people actually staying. I'm going to go to Whistler for skiing. I think a bunch of team. I might go, I might not go after that. And so it's. I might actually join them too, depending on how much work I have. It's usually a lot of work for this. I can't commit by now, but I might go drive the Lambo to the Whistler. It's actually Whistler was very, very nice in that time.
Yeah.
So I do love actually you guys to join us. We are spending a lot of time and energy on it, and I didn't need to. Honestly, we didn't need to do the TED in there, but it's just wanted to make it better and just improve our the quality of our
presentations and
our
conference.
Quality of our events. That's the whole thing. It cost me a lot of money. Like, honestly, this TEDx, like the license by itself was $25,000. I think the production team is probably going to charge me $10,000 for the charging, and then obviously there are additional food and everything. So yeah, it is. And speakers, the speakers that I'm bringing, so I'm covering cost of hotel and stuff. Now that I'm thinking it, fucking man, why did I do that? Let's cancel it, man. It's so much money.
Yeah. What the hell am I doing?
Now that I'm thinking
we didn't do it because of. We didn't do
now
it
I'm thinking of this. It does so much cost the ocean. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, so that would be nice. And your support, guys, is very important for me. So, I'd like to have 200 people. It's. I mean, we can do it with less than that, but it's nice that we get that. And everybody in the team is coming as well. So, and that's another thing is that. So guys, cool. If you haven't purchased it yet, go purchase it. Please support our event. I think we need to do that. All right, so it's at 8. Let's see
Yep.
other people. Do we have other people? Brent?
Yeah, I have Avi standing by.
Good deal.
Oh,
Abby's
and here's
standing
Phil
by.
too.
Oh, Paris is not here. Oh, perfect. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, hey guys. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear
Yes, sir.
you. What are you doing, brother?
Hey, how are you, Andrew? Good to see you.
Good to see you. Where are you? You're in the basement, attic, or somewhere? It's a nice room.
Oh yeah. No, thanks. It's in my small office here. I live right next to a ski resort in a little chalet-looking house, so it's very cold and
Awesome.
a lot of snow out there. It's been some good snowboarding recently.
Right on.
So I'm gonna hand it over to you guys. I had a really good day,
Yep.
and I might actually do a recap later and post it. But Avi, how are you doing, buddy? Looking forward to see you soon in Vancouver.
Yeah. Yeah. Looking forward to seeing Avi and Phil. All right, guys. I am going to leave it to you as well. Talk to y'all later. Cheers.
Awesome. See you, Brian.
Yeah. See you.
Avi, how you doing? No? There? I don't know if I can hear Avi.
No, stand by.
Oh, there we go.
There we
Sorry,
go.
my mic was on mute. There we go.
Ah, there you
You hear
go.
me now? Yeah. Cool. How you doing today?
Good. Good. Yeah, good day. A lot of good short setups this morning. How about you?
Yeah, I just got into my first trade about 30 seconds ago. So, yes.
Nice.
Lots of setups for
Nice.
sure. And
Yeah.
yeah, I didn't get my lot of movement. I didn't get a setup until right now. So, here we go. Let's have some fun with
Cool.
this, eh?
Cool.
So
Yeah.
what'd you do?
And you're in. Yeah. So for me, I was looking at Nvidia this morning. A lot of weakness and some trend line breaks. Nvidia was, I can't really, I don't think I can share my screen, but Nvidia was opening up below a major trend line that I had drawn on the daily chart. So I'm always looking for, some selling pressure, especially at the open when that's the case. And we got that today for sure. So I took had two like 4 or 5 hour trades on Nvidia. And then, I tried it when it got a little choppy, a little bit later on in the morning session. I jumped in for another 2 entries and, just didn't quite nail the entries, but, ended up at like a 5 hour day on Nvidia. But yeah, I was watching AMD was also a great short this morning. Apple was a great short. I had all those on my list. So how about you? Are you in Apple right now or?
No, I'm involved in Amazon and AMD going down. But yeah, man, that's cool you caught those early moves, man. They were fast and big.
Right.
Nice.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
for
Nice.
now,
Yeah.
yeah.
The book map was pretty obvious on those. Thor recently, was mentioned. I learned so much from just watching Thor's hour. On his daily hour on whatever days he does it. But just the imbalance, the order book imbalance, and the volume imbalance. It's like that up in the right hand corner on my book map, and I think on most book map setups. Thor was pointing out some pointers on that, and that's really it's basically like a summary of the imbalance in the market. So instead of you having to look and see physically that there are orders below or above price, it kind of just summarizes it in the upper right hand corner for you. So I've really been liking just watching that. It's kind of like a good at a glance, it's like, okay, where are things at, instead of having to actually, zoom in, zoom out to look for liquidity in one direction. So
Nice.
so I've been
Yeah,
digging
you're able
that.
to use that really effectively, huh? You got it where it's not overwhelming. I think that's what people struggle with mostly, because Bookmap's got a lot in it, and then you got to
Yeah,
really work through it to set it up so it, the information you need, you can just pop it up at you when you need it, rather than getting lost in all the rainbows.
right,
So cool.
right. Yeah, cool.
No,
So
yeah.
what were you looking at this morning?
Just all the usual ones, all the tech stuff, everything that moved, but
Right.
yeah, nothing set up for me. Geez, but the setups I like to look for, they're really precise. And today I was just kicking myself because I missed a whole lot of great moves if I was just a little bit, if I bent my rules a bit. But I did not, thankfully, because that would be
Right.
a bad trade. And here we are
For the
now.
best.
I'm
Yep.
just beginning my day. But I mean, you can see it here just on what I like to look at, candlestick patterns. Apple, pretty nice reverse ABCD pattern going down, no big deal. You had what was it? Can't remember. I saw something. Oh, yeah, Microsoft was something I was very curious about. Again, look at that. Reverse ABCD patterns going down. I mean, these are simple patterns. And I used to
Right.
trade these not long ago, but now I've just refined my trade book a bit. So that meant today was a day of patience until right now, until I could unmute the mic and finally get on a trade. But the one I'm liking so far is Amazon. This one's cool. It's broken down the levels. I had these levels around this 218.50 area. What I saw is a breakdown, come back, retest the zone, and as it's coming back down through it, that's where I'm in. And if I'm wrong, no big deal. You get a stop out, and that's why you have stops. But
Right.
yeah, man, seriously opportunistic market. I mean, it's pretty cool. There's a lot going on.
Yeah. Amazon. I'm looking at that right now. That wasn't on my radar this morning, but yeah, it looks great on the daily chart.
Yeah, very, very interesting. That's cool. You're using
what?
Bookmap, and you're using so many indicators, and that's great because it's a different style. Like what I'm doing is just levels and candlesticks. There isn't even the volume bars on my chart. So
I
again,
know. Yeah, we
totally.
talked about that in
Yeah.
Colombia. You were mentioning that, and I was looking at your charts there, and there's something beautiful about just the simplicity of it. You're just looking at candlesticks. You don't even have volume anymore, correct?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's not there anymore. I don't need them to use it.
Yeah.
But
No,
again, there's no right and
that's
wrong
awesome.
way. Everyone gets so stuck into a particular indicator, or tries to use all indicators that everyone mentions, and then a lot of people get lost. So I think what's really cool is if you find an indicator is confusing you, well, remove it. If you find an indicator is actually giving you confidence and confirmation on positions and trades, then keep those. I think that's the real
Right.
lesson. Once I figured that out, my trading improved a lot. So yeah, there's a philosophy behind that. So
Yeah. No, there's a lot there for sure. Yeah. The one thing that was really cool in Colombia, just chatting with the different mods and all the different traders from the community that were there is, everyone has a slightly different style, and it's about finding something that works for you. We all have different psychology, we have different strengths and weaknesses, when it comes to trading. So it's really cool. It's like everyone has their own sort of like trading fingerprint. Once you get things figured out, it's great. One big thing that I've really taken from our conversation, and I've mentioned this on the mic before, is your bracket orders. So before I would be entering a trade, had typical entries, trend line breaks, consolidation breaks are what I really like, but I wouldn't have profit orders to the upside, so it was kind of on me to manage my emotions and wait for like that all out. I was going all out typically at like 4R, so 4 times my risk. And because I was involved in that, there were times where, I could screw up, I could say, oh, I think this is going to go further, so I'm going to go I'm going to go out half here and then wait. And, you know, sometimes that would work, sometimes it wouldn't. But basically, you know, I love about the upper profit orders that you're using and that you talked about are, you know, you just have to choose your entry at that point, and then it takes all of the guesswork and all of your own, you know, emotional responses out of the situation, you know. So now I just have to choose the best entry. I enter, and if I get stopped out, who cares? But in a lot of cases, you know, I'm hitting that, you know, the way I have it set up now is I go 80% out at 5R. So that gives me close to 4R on the trade right there. And then I have 10% of my order set at 7R. So there's a profit order up there, and then another 10% at 10R. And I'm finding, you know, in a lot of cases, I get that when a trade goes in my direction, I'm getting that full run. Or I'm getting, you know, the 80% out and then maybe the 7R 10%, and then, you know, just stopped out on the remaining 10%. But you know, when you take yourself out of the equation like that and you just fully automate it and you're just choosing your entry and then whatever happens, that's doing wonders for my profitability. And, you know, on a lot of these trades, instead of going all out at 4R, I'm in it for a little longer, but I'm getting 6, 7R out of it. So that was a game changer for me, and I have you to thank for that.
Yeah, awesome, man. I'm grateful to hear that. Good job on sticking to it, and makes everything easier, right? Trade management easier, and just coming out of a conversation of, you know, while we're sitting and waiting for the meal or whatever it may be. And that's the beauty of these meetups. And when we're together, you know, it's not just necessarily we're trading or we're presenting stuff to each other, but it's just these side conversations. There's tremendous amount of value in all of that. Just interacting with people over a few days. And, you know, we had that in Colombia. We're going to have that again in Vancouver very shortly, very soon. This is exciting. So,
you
know, definitely worth going to it. And this is for all you guys here on YouTube. Like, if you're not there, you're missing it, really. And just like Phil was talking about, my trading tremendously improved also after attending these meetups. The first one I went to was San Diego. That was 3 years ago now. And since then, my trading has improved a lot. Like, just going to that first one, and I haven't missed one since. This will be the second time I'll be going to Vancouver. And we did New York, we did San Diego, we did Colombia recently. We've had other smaller ones on the side. And again, it's not just you're going to absorb a lot of information from all the speakers, which we have plenty of that, but just come and hang out and have a cup of coffee, or later on have a beer, and we'll have a chat about whatever's on your mind. And you never know where these conversations go, what you're going to take out of it, and then you're going to walk away with it, and you know, you'll expand your trading. I know mine has had that impact, and now Phil as well. So just to bring this example to everyone listening, seriously, show up. It's a different world when you show up in person than what we do online. Online's good because, you know, we can do it. We're lucky to have this facility. But seriously, show up in Vancouver. I mean, I'm going to go halfway around the world just to show up. So if you're not coming, I don't know what you're doing. Okay. Make it happen.
Yeah. I couldn't agree with that more. And you know, I didn't, until Colombia, I didn't really realize how much you can actually get out of these meetups. Colombia was my first, you know, experience meeting everybody. I was trying to make the New York City one a few months before that, but something came up in life and I couldn't get down there. But no, it really is incredible just to be surrounded by like-minded people. You know, we're all doing our thing. We're all doing it a little differently. We all have something to bring to a conversation. And yeah, I mean, you make lifelong friends too. I'm staying in touch with a lot of these folks, and you know, it's in daily life. It's, you know, you don't run across people all the time who are as passionate about trading as you are. You know, you kind of get that glazed eye look from friends and family after you've been, you know, spouting off about trading and how this exciting new indicator or book map or something. You know, the average person, you know, isn't as excited about it as you are. But you get to these meetups and everyone has that same level of excitement and passion, and there's just so much to learn. So yeah, I highly recommend it. If you're on the fence about coming to Vancouver, just buy that ticket, get over there. It'll change your life.
Hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely awesome. And a whole bunch of us are trying to go snowboarding too right after. So, hey, there's another thing
That's right.
just to add on to that. I'll make it to that.
Yeah.
That's fun. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna go halfway around
Yep.
the world
That's
just for
gonna be
3 days. I'll stay a whole week. So I'll probably show up 2 days early and stay a few days extra. So I'll be gone. I'll be there 10 days or something. So if I
wow.
want to make it
Wow.
early after, it's worth it, man. It's totally worth it. Really
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah. Well, Whistler's supposed to be, one of the best resorts in the entire world. I think it is the largest ski resort in North America. I'm not sure if that counts the black in combination with Blackcomb Mountain, which is like right across the valley. But still, it's huge. I'm doing my homework on it right now. I think they have North America's largest run, which is 7 miles. So that just
Wow.
blows my mind. Here, the ski mountain right next to me here in New York is like, the longest run. You're maybe on it for like 4 minutes or 5 minutes. Like I can't imagine 7 miles of boarding. Got to take a couple breaks along the way.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm gonna pack lunch and everything.
Yeah.
7 miles.
Yeah.
Wow.
So look at Apple. So Apple really is giving it up right now. Wow.
Yeah, it's been really interesting. It's been teasing me all day. Even now, I was thinking to get into it, but it's not quite there for me. But yeah, man, this is great.
Yeah.
What a great move. Again, reverse ABCD patterns, the easy one to start with for everyone in the first couple of years, just ABCD patterns, especially on a 5-minute chart. Really simple. Can't go wrong with it. And you're in business and you see them every day. I mean, I see them every day.
Yeah.
Freaking awesome.
Yeah,
Apple
and with from my style perspective, Apple, I was looking at the previous 2 days in Apple, and kind of smallish range, small candle bodies, and then this morning, with the jobs news on spot, just overall, Apple was gapped down, below the lows of the previous day, and for those cam traders out there, it was below S4. So that was on my watch. I was looking at Nvidia in the morning, and that was the real grab, as Paris would say. I'm filling in for him, so I have to say the grab you by the face trade. But Nvidia was the grab you by the face trade for me. But at the same time, the other 3 stocks on my watch list, that I was looking for shorts on, Apple and AMD, also went off. So it's a good day.
Nice. Yeah, it's great, man. Awesome day. And I'm in these shorts right now on Amazon and AMD, and they're slowly going in my favor. So already pretty much risk-free. But yeah, fun. Wait for your setups and you catch awesome moves. You're doing it right.
Yep. Yeah, and Abhi, just so you're looking at these levels from it's like on the daily charts. Is it 60-minute charts as well, or?
No, it's just daily. I just go to the daily, and my daily chart is blank, empty, and I just draw lines wherever I see support or resistance. Ideally, in recent times, like previous days, highs and lows are the easy ones. Then you can see on this Nvidia chart very recently, this area, what is it, about 134 or so, 134.70 or so, right there. You can see every time it got there, just kept bouncing very recently. So what's likely to happen today if it goes there? Well, something's going to happen. We know it's been support. It could possibly be support again, but all we know is that something's going to happen. So that was an important level on today. And then sure enough, it got there and look what happened. It just went up from there. So that's it. I'm just planning the trades that way, as in just wait for them to hit a level and then see what it does. Either it bounces or it goes through it, or it just gets stuck and stays there all day. It's 3 possibilities. So that's all there is, really.
Yeah. Just key levels, where things have happened in the past, and then just watching what's happening as price approaches those. That's trading in a nutshell, actually.
That's it. Yep. We got a few questions here. You guys want to know about Amazon and AMD? All right, let's go with AMD real quick. So AMD, one of these levels I have is 115.8, and up here, of course, 116.50. So what I'm seeing is the price action broke down and finally coming back into these levels. I'm thinking about a retest. A retest happened here at 116.50. So retest is it goes and it rejects the level. But again, there's a fair bit of bullish action when it's retesting, so I'm not interested. But this first candle, if you can see it here, the 1055 5-minute candle, that was the first bearish candle. After that, I'm confirmed on the retest, as in the setup exists. It's ready to go. The next thing I'm looking for is the confirmation to take that entry, which is the new low. So the next candle makes a new 5-minute low. That's my entry, which was now, what, 15 minutes ago, 20 minutes ago. And the stop is above the level. I'm just trailing it now as the price goes down. So that's it. This trade is just a retest of a breakout at a level that I like. And that's it. Now I'm just going to follow the price down and stay in it as long as it's bearish. And that's all I'm doing, really. Amazon, I'm doing the same thing, literally. So again, pushed down and came back up into these levels I like, around 218.50. Pushed through, but came right back in. Now I'm thinking, okay, it's retesting this whole 219 area. So let it retest. Once it really, we had two pretty solid bearish candles and it dropped this 218.34 level I had. The new low on that candle was the entry. I think it was right about there. Again, about 15, 20 minutes ago. Both of these are now nicely in my favor, and that's it. Just trailing the price. So both trades are just breakout, retests of breakouts. So nice and slow, easy pattern. Again, I like to make it simple. I don't want to have to manage it too much. So once you put it on, put the orders in and just let it go. No, my strategy is just to manage the trade is to just trail the price. So every 5-minute candle that closes, then I bring my exit in tighter. That's all there is. Fairly straightforward.
Yeah.
We got a question on Apple. I did not trade Apple. I didn't, yeah, you know what? Let me look at Apple. I think that might have been an opportunity missed. If you look at Apple on the first 5-minute candle, breakout, retest, and I didn't take. You see the bearish candle, the 945 5-minute candle. Looking back on it now, that was the confirmation of the retest complete. Then the new low would have been the entry on the 5-minute chart, and I would have been in it still probably. Or well, I probably would have taken it off at the new 5-minute high at 1020. That would have been that trade. Anyways, didn't happen. And that's that. But yeah, an opportunity missed.
Yeah.
Can't catch everything.
Yeah, you can't, and it's no use stressing out about missing these opportunities because the market just offers so many of them on a daily basis. So it's when I was a younger trader, you'd get FOMO on trades that you missed, but really it's you don't want to take late entries. Things just have to line up to your entry criteria and your rules, and it's just there's just always opportunity out there, and you just kind of got to look at it like that. It's not like, oh shoot, like should I jump in on this one? I'm a little late, but it's just no. It's trading's about being relaxed and not sweating the missed opportunities.
Yep, absolutely. You got to sit out, man. I sat out for an hour and a half today, and I felt like forever while there were massive moves and everyone's making money and losing money. I'm still sitting there like, maybe I should just quit today and abandon everyone and just go. You have that feeling, but that's when you're doing it right. That's really when it's working out for you.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. I think I'll exit now. I'm exiting this AMD position. It's making a new 5-minute high. There you go. Done with that. And Amazon as well, same thing, new 5-minute high. That one's on the way up. Okay, so I exited both these trades with a tiny stop, a tiny loss, so much less than 1 hour, just because I trailed the price anyway. So cool. I like Microsoft.
So
Microsoft's on. I'm on Microsoft. Go. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh yeah, sorry, Avi. Yeah, so you had mentioned that you're basically adjusting your stop and trailing the price with it. So if and your exit criteria is what a new 5-minute high or low, opposite the direction of your trade.
Yeah, effectively that's it. The real thinking is I want to stay with it as long as it's going in my direction, and I want to survive the pullback. So what I'm really looking for are pullbacks, and I'm looking at the 5-minute chart. So if you look at this Amazon chart I've got right now, let's say you're in this move somehow, you get into it, and the first time it does a genuine pullback is this white candle at 11:05. But that candle closes, you can't say that was a pullback. It could still be a reversal. It could be, you don't know anything yet. But the next
Right.
candle, that goes down, it's bearish. And especially once that closes, you can see these two candles right here. That was a pullback. It's in a trend going short. It pulls up. So that's the pullback and then continues down. So the exit is right above that pullback. And as long as it keeps going and keeps making pullbacks, you just keep trailing the pullbacks is what I like to do. And if it makes a new, well, a deeper pullback, the new high, that's where I'll exit. And that was the exit just now, just a minute ago. So it's not exactly a 5-minute high. Sometimes I do use a plain 5-minute high based on, if I'm filling massive candles, that would make sense. But in this case, I'm just trailing the pullback. And yep, it got me. It got me just a little worse than break even, so no, not much at all. Not a big deal. And same thing on AMD just now. So that's that. But yeah, that helps me I found that doing this kind of trade management strategy, my losers are cut in half, as in half the dollar amount lost. And my winners are twice as big. So, I'm happy to do it. And yeah, a lot of times I'm getting more regularly, I'm getting 5 and 10 hour trades more regularly than I used to. And yeah, that's great. It's good fun. So even now I'm going to tighten it up on Microsoft. Yeah, there you go. I've already cut the risk in half. So it's half R at the moment, risk on. That's that. Nice and easy.
And Avi, are you entering most of your trades with the exact same initial risk, or do you decide like, oh, this is like a half R trade or a full R trade, or is it about the same every time?
I'm moving more and more towards it's about the same every time, which enforces another very important point. It enforces that I only take seriously good setups. I don't take half-baked setups and therefore I put half the size. No. Just stick to really good ones, be patient, wait for them, and then put it on, man. Put on the risk and let it rip.
Yeah.
That's I'm towards that more and more now. I've done the other stuff, and you know what? It's just a mental drain when you take a half-baked setup and you put half the size, and then it works or it doesn't. Either way, it's not too important because it's a small one anyway. And it's just like a mental drain, mental capital, man.
Yeah, because if it works out for you, that could have been a full R. You could have been in it with full size and it would have worked out. And you're adjusting your risk as the trade goes further and further in your favor too. So it's a great way to do it.
Yeah, that's it. So very quickly.
Yeah, I'm finding.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm finding just on that that point we were talking about before of when you pull more out of a winning trade, when you get stopped out, it's way less of a big deal. Before, when I was just shooting for 4R out of a trade, if I took 2 trades after that and lost on both of them, now I'm down to 2R on the day, and you can get a little bit into that psychology of like, oh well, I was here and now I'm here, and it can sort of mess you up. But now with my average trade being about 6 to 7R, 1 or 2 losses after that, just they barely make a dent in that overall profit, versus if I was just going out at 4R. And I find in almost all situations now I'm at least getting 4R, and in probably 80% of the time, those trades that go my way, they go at least to the 7R, my 10% out at 7R, and maybe 50%, they're going all the way to the 10R mark. So it's a common adage in trading where you let your winners run and cut your losers quickly, and really I'm kind of in a discovery mode on just letting those winners run, and it does change things by quite a bit. So it's going well.
It does. That's awesome. It's awesome. Yeah, really, once you figure out a trade management strategy that allows you to do that, to let your winners run and cut your losers, that's it, man. Sounds like you're getting that going. And yeah, me too. Just recently getting that, getting more focused on that. And it's great. That's how you make the money. I mean, you don't show up to break even or to lose money. You show up to really make some money. So,
right.
Let it run. Let the whole thing run. And I like the trailing stop as well, because there are no partials. I'm all in and all out on every trade.
Right.
There's no partials. Yep. So even that, makes it, when you have a winner, it's a serious 10R. It's not like partial 10R or whatever, it's all the way. So
Right.
that's great, man. Gotta love this. I'm seeing some action here. We got Apple breaking down. We got Tesla as well, looking to go down. Tesla's tempting, but we're not in it. But look at this. Something's moving again at the moment. I'm in a long in Microsoft with everything else going down. What the hell? All good.
Yeah, SPY is pushing down more. Yeah, that was another one. That was my, I mentioned I was watching AMD, Nvidia, Apple, and SPY all for shorts this morning, and they all have dumped. So I got two good trades on Nvidia, but man, it was good day to be short if you're looking at some of the Mag 7 stocks.
Absolutely. Great day for shorting. We got some questions here, guys. You want to follow the cursor and stuff? Yeah, that's tricky. You see what we're doing here on YouTube is sharing the live screen and stuff. And really, it's not even live. The lag on YouTube is what, 10 seconds? Or I don't even know what it is. And so really getting into trading. By the time I talk to you about it, you're already 20 seconds late, which in day trading is plenty. I mean, it's a significant difference. And but that's what you're going to get out of YouTube. I mean, this is YouTube, right? It's not a platform that's designed for this sort of thing. But that's why we have the chat room that we use in Bear Bull Traders, and we really are live as we say it, as we're sharing screens and cursors and all this stuff you guys are asking about here in this chat. We're doing it full on in the BBT chat room because the software we're using, everything allows for that. It's built for day trading, for a community of day traders. So you want that stuff, that's where you'll find it. On YouTube, you'll get this. That's because this is what the platform allows. I can't really do anything else with it. So we can share the screen, but again, remember, you are still 20 seconds late. So don't enter a trade just because I entered it or somebody else did, because I might be exiting by the time you enter. It's late. So there's reasons for that. Make sure you guys understand that point. In the meantime, I'm curious about Amazon now. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, just to follow up on your point about, the value of the chat room and, the community, for those on YouTube who are, just kind of, checking this out and, wondering like, oh, should I join Bear Bull? I could not suggest it more. I would say that I probably would not have succeeded in, in this trading game without Bear Bull Trader. I can say that actually for a fact. But when you join a community like Bear Bull and it's just run so well, the mods are so knowledgeable, you get the chat room, you get to hear, live answers to questions, posed to these mods throughout the day. Obviously, the trade, they talked about different trades and what's going on in the market, live. But also, you get to go into the education center and watch past webinars, and there's just so much knowledge to be gained from it. It really is great. So if you're watching here and if you've been maybe following along on YouTube for a couple of days, just really consider getting into the community, even just to try it out. I think you'll be very pleasantly surprised at how much there is to learn and the value that you actually get, for very little comparatively.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm the same way. I'm glad I joined. I would never have figured this out myself, or following random people on social media or something. No way. It's a serious business.
Yeah, no.
People who are taking it seriously and putting the time and effort into it. And those are the people you want to be with. That's why we even have all these meetups and the summits and the presentations. I mean, we even got a TED license now. Isn't that something? So, very good stuff.
Very I'm excited for that.
Yeah. This is fun. Meanwhile, I'm seeing quite a bit of movement around a lot of things on my screen right now. I'm trying to figure out, is it worth putting risk on? Okay. So I cut that Microsoft.
Did you say you were looking at... Okay, yeah, I was going to ask about the Microsoft trade.
Yeah.
Pull it up on Bookmap here.
Yep, I'm out of that at just about break even. Didn't really want to go. I got eyes on Meta at the moment. man, things are just kind of setting up for me right now. A good time to be here.
Nice.
So are you done? I think you said you're done, right? You had a few good ones earlier, so you're good for the day.
Yeah, I'm really more of an open trader. My ideal day is to, I really like those volatility pushes, at the open where, if something is like gapping below, consolidate, the low or gapping up above the high of a, previous couple days or, week long consolidation zone, I like to play that initial rush of, of players either getting out or getting into the position. And, with options, which I trade, you really can get big, 6, 7. I mean, that's where I'm going out right now is about 6 or 7 R, but you can get big moves. But my ideal day is to catch, one or two trades just between, like 9:30 and 9:45. And a lot of cases I get my 1 or 2, and then just, it's nice to either, just hang out in the chat room and listen to the mods talk, or sometimes I go into the education center and I watch a webinar. But, I really got into trading to, just be able to, in the first maybe half an hour of a day, make what I needed to make, and then just, have the whole day ahead of you basically after that. So that's
nice.
That's what my ideal day looks like.
That's awesome, man. Best way to do it, man.
Yeah.
Don't stress out. You find a way that works for you, and it provides you the freedoms you're looking for. So yeah, best thing in the world, really.
Yep. Yeah, that's the dream, man. And it takes some dedication and some discipline, and you really got to be surrounded by some knowledgeable folks, like the Bear Bull Traders community. And but it really can happen. Don't expect it to happen overnight either. There is a lot of screen time involved in just figuring out how stocks move and figuring out your trade book plays, but it definitely can happen. The dream is real, and you put enough blood, sweat, and tears and time, and get fast tracked by being a part of a community, and it really, it does. The dream can come true.
Absolutely right. We're all here doing it, so it's true. Yeah, man, put in the effort. Copying traders or something like that, that never works. You might get lucky a few times, but really put in the effort to figure out what works for you. What kind of styles or strategies or indicators or time frames or, what instruments even, options or stocks or futures, whatever it may be. But you're not going to be able to figure that out by not showing up or not knowing anything. You got to show up. You got to interact again with the community, with people who've been doing this for a long time. And that's how you find your way. So I was grateful, even though you're done, you just come hang out in the chat room. I do the same, and sometimes it's 1 a.m. over here by the time the market closes, and I'm sitting there chatting with people in the chat room. I should be asleep.
Yeah.
But you know what? As you were saying, lifelong friends and community beyond trading. It's awesome, man.
Yeah.
I love this.
Yeah, and there's just like all the little snippets, whether it's Brian or Thor or Paris, sometimes there's just like the other day when I was on and Thor started talking about the little 5 squares up in the right hand corner of a book map template, and that for last week I think I heard it for the first time, and I heard him talk about it, and I adjusted the settings on it, and that has made it so much easier for me to I can have like my entire watch list of 3 or 4 stocks up on Bookmap, and instead of having to look deeply into the heat, into the levels on each one, I can just sort of scan now this tool in the upper right hand corner that Thor talked about the other day. And if I hadn't been on just kind of sitting there absorbing the knowledge in the chat room after I was done trading for the day, but Thor came on, so I was like, hey, I'm going to stay on for a bit. And just little knowledge bits like that. There's little gems just throughout the day, just listening. So I think that will be something that probably changes my trading for the rest of my life. Just that little indicator up in the corner of Bookmap. It's been great so far.
Oh, that's awesome. Yep, you never know when some gold is coming your way just by sitting there
Right.
and listening to it.
Yeah.
Same thing as showing up in the meetups and the BBT events. Same thing, show up in the chat room. Yeah, man, it's enormous. Again, I've done the same for years since 2019. I'm still doing it.
Mhm.
Just sitting there listening to people and goofing off sometimes and really listening. And that's how you figure stuff out. Take some
Right.
trades too along the way. But yeah,
Yeah.
awesome. Good fun. So I've taken shorts while you're just talking on Meta, Amazon, and Nvidia. So basically, I should just short the queues at this point. But so
Yeah.
got these
Yeah. Spies.
running for now.
Yeah. Spies down at basically its low of day. Not quite its low of day, but very close to it. So.
Yeah. AMD did a very nice breakout last 5 minutes. If you guys would like to catch that, broke the level there, 115.26, near precise. You can see it. This is a level I picked up on a daily chart. Consolidated, bounced off, and it finally broke through in the last 5 minutes. So for breakout traders, there's something there. Oh, yeah. Tesla's been tempting, but it's a mess for now.
Yeah, I didn't have Tesla on my. I almost always have Tesla on my watch list, and just didn't have it this morning. It wasn't opening, above or below consolidation zone. So I just wasn't expecting too much action on it. That doesn't mean that it can't occur, of course, but I really like to play the edges and the break of the edges of consolidations. Where one group of traders is being proved wrong or right, and that's where I like to see there's a lot of action that can occur in those areas.
And you're picking these levels on bigger time frames, right? On daily charts, is it? Or are you doing some other levels?
Yeah. 60-minute chart, daily chart. Normally it ends up being, there's really no maximum amount of time. There's definitely a minimum amount of time I like to see of a consolidation that's at least, 2 days, I would say. So like, if you had, like on Apple today, if you look at the daily chart on Apple, this morning I was watching it because it was, the last 2 days it kind of hovered around that recent low from 4 or 5 days ago, and was really just sort of, there was some indecision in those candles from the past 2 days, not a lot of range, and then this morning we're gapped down right at the very low from yesterday, and that also coincided with for those Camarilla traders, that was just below S4, which is like a common, breakdown, selling area. So that was a great setup. And yeah, that was just a range that it had put in, over the last 2 days. But then, you kind of compare that to a few days before too, that low. And, so I was looking for, then I look at Bookmap obviously to see if there's liquidity below, and there definitely was. Like I said, I didn't trade that one because I was doing the same type of analysis on Nvidia, and I liked the the selling volume and book structure on Nvidia a little bit more. But it was there on Apple, AMD similarly as well. But yeah, that's what I'm looking for is areas where those folks who are just hanging on to their long positions, this morning were like, oh shoot, I need to bail. So I'm looking for situations like that.
Nice. Oh, that's really neat. Yeah, you can plan it out that way, on a bigger perspective,
Yeah.
and then take it on the daily perspective or day trading perspective. That's awesome,
Yep.
man. Find your way. Now we've got things looking strong again, oddly enough, at least on my screens. Tesla again.
Yeah,
What a mess. Yeah.
SPY popped up there quite a bit.
Amazon as well. I'm looking at it. Amazon, where'd it go? There it is. Yeah. Cool. So I got out Microsoft earlier, but if I held through, it would have worked. But you cannot hold past your exit point. So I didn't survive the pullback it did in those 3 red candles. But now it looks like it'll continue that direction. Fun.
Yep. So it goes.
Yep.
Got to follow
Risk
your rules,
management.
though. Yep.
Absolutely. And I still say it's early in the day. I mean, even most days, I mean, recently I've been getting my best trades after noon. So between noon and 2 p.m. or around that time frame. So I haven't even really gotten into anything yet in that sense.
Yeah.
But let's see. Big ones will come. They always come. Let's see. Tesla's really
Yeah,
interesting.
and are you finding, Avi, that the you know, are you playing like so when you're getting into a trade later on in the day, like in the afternoon, you know, is that you kind of give a stock time to sort of consolidate, and then are you playing like a move out of like that previous like consolidation, or you know, what would you say, or maybe it takes that long for a stock to get to a level that you're interested in? You know, how would you really describe that later on trades that are going your way?
You know, I think it's just for me, it's just a matter of my strategy just takes that long to set up. These 5-minute candlestick charts, they are slow. And sometimes I need 20 of them in a sequence to actually create a pattern, which means it's already noon
Yeah.
or something, you know.
Right.
And that too, it has to happen at a level. So first has to get there. And then it has to form a pattern. And then I'll put risk on. You know, so
Right.
for me, the really good ones recently, at least, have been happening at that point. So it's rare that I get trades in the first half hour. Today, I didn't even get a trade in the first hour and a half. But then, you know, when I get those that I like, that's when I put the risk on and then let it run. And yeah, the market does behave differently, and there's all of those things, but I'm not considering any of that stuff. For me, it's just purely the technical setup, which for me is just candlestick patterns at a level. And here's another thing I like that I've noticed. The candlesticks are obviously smaller later in the day compared to the early, you know, first 30 minutes. And what I like about small candlesticks is it's easier to manage risk. You know, you can put on a bigger size and put the stop on the other side of a 5-minute candlestick. It's not really very far away. So you have a pretty tight stop. And then you got to have the patience for it to run a full 5-minute candlestick pattern and, you know, just trail the price. And I've been able to really get some good trading out of this in the last, couple of months. So yeah. Again, different styles for everybody, right? And that's the key. You got to find your way. Now, I wasn't always like this. I was one of those guys done in the first 5 minutes for like 5 years, 4 years. I traded like that. Always done in the first 5 minutes. But I'm making 10 times as much money doing it this way than I did a couple of years ago. And there's a big difference.
Yeah, you put it. You know, it takes more patience, but then you're getting, you know, longer, more drawn out moves when they do happen. So that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what I'm trying to target, the bigger moves of the day. And typically once you avoid the opening momentum, and if there is a big move to be had, you know, multiple dollars or whatever it is, it happens a little later and it's slow. Again, if you're getting those, firstly, if you target those, you got to wait. Secondly, if you're getting into them, you got to wait for them to get to your profit target as well, as in they're slow. So it's the patience game. Like, nothing wrong with doing the momentum stuff. I've done that for most of my career. Now it's more on this stuff. So
yeah, the you know, I generally, unless I see a absolutely perfect setup and I think there's going to be, you know, and it's just like a grab you by the face scenario, I generally like to wait at least a couple minutes, you know, for kind of the whipsaw of the, you know, first few 1-minute candles of the open. But you know, I'm kind of looking at previously established consolidation areas, and you know, if a stock is, you know, either, you know, breaking out of that or breaking down, you know, it's quite evident, like at the open, like where the positioning of price compared to that consolidation area. And you know, there's just so much more volatility that if you do, you know, for me, you know, with options, you know, I like that volatility because, you know, options, you know, can go up in value by quite a lot. You know, it just, you know, especially when, you know, in the volatility of the open, it can happen all day long, obviously, you know, as you can attest to, you know, but I am finding, I think I'm going to slowly over time gravitate more towards like your style of trading, but especially now that I've increased my profit, you know, I'm pulling more out of winning trades. You know, I am. That keeps you in a trade a little bit longer, so it's giving me a little bit more patience than I previously had, and you know, but you know, those following those bigger all day moves is, you know, I think I'm on my like first step towards getting there. Although I like where I am right now, so I think I'm gonna settle where I am for a bit, but then decide if I want to, you know, be in front of my screens for another couple hours per day or not. But you know, I'm making it work currently in the first hour or so. But you know, then again, you know, sometimes SPY will consolidate all day, and then around 1 or 2 or 3, it just has a huge push, and you know, one either a breakdown or a breakout. So you know, there's opportunities all day for sure.
Mm-hmm. Oh yes, there are opportunities all day, and you know, as a trader, you're always evolving. You know, you trade a certain way, but slowly you start changing your style, very little, one thing at a time. And but 3 years later, you'll notice that, you know, the way you're trading now is completely different than 3 years ago, and you can't even recognize it. It's really shocking when you realize, like, oh crap, what happened here? You know, but it's a gradual,
Right.
slow process. As you find more opportunities, as you find better ways to manage risk, better ways to make more profits, all that stuff. And you're always evolving. There's never a point where you say, okay, I got this. I know what I'm doing. I'm the boss of the market. You think like that, you're dead, you know? So you're always on your toes and evolving. So
Yep.
let's see. I mean, I'm probably going to change this style in another 6 months. Probably going to add something on the trade management side of it. I'm already working on 1 or 2 things. So let's see, you know, always evolving. And that's fun.
Yep. I play around with the idea now that now that I've stretched, you know, my profit orders out a little bit, you know, it is tempting to just say like, okay, maybe instead of going all out or going 80% out at 5R, it's like, what if I just, you know, put my entire, you know, what if I went all out later, or what if I went, you know, 60% all out and then, you know, and then went an additional 40% all out at 10R, you know? So there's so many ways you can think about it, and you can make, you know, spreadsheets and just play around with, you know, the profitability analysis and probability that you get to those, you know, those bigger moves. But currently I like where I'm at, but definitely, you know, it's something that you just tweak over time, just like, you know, any other business. You know, you're always tweaking for, you know, more profitability and seeing what works, what doesn't work, and trading's the same way.
Oh yes, absolutely. I like that saying from oh, who said it? I read it a long time ago. I think it must have been Einstein or something. Life is like a bicycle. You got to keep moving forward, otherwise you fall off. You know, I find trading's the same thing. Just keep moving.
Yep.
Going.
Exactly.
So, yeah. AMD again now is really interesting. The way I'm seeing it, it's broken a consolidation, looking weak, retesting the previous low, holding below right now. So the level I have is 115.26. It's holding below there. Doesn't mean it's gonna go down, but it's interesting.
Yeah,
I'm gonna keep an eye on that.
Give you the book map analysis here. Yeah, so book map is showing liquidity below. There's not a huge difference in, you know, the volume of buyers and sellers right now. It's, you know, sellers are just, you know, making themselves just slightly known over buyers, but yeah, liquidity is definitely stacked to the downside on bookmap and AMD.
Interesting. So it's in an area where yeah, you could go and get that liquidity. Let's see.
And from a cam perspective, it's, you know, below S4, and the cams are, let's see, they aren't super compressed today. They're actually sort of wide, but you know what I'm looking for on a cam move is the move from the 4th level to the 6th level. That would be quite a move on AMD today, but who knows? You know,
know,
keeps selling off.
Yep, keeps going, man. You can make bigger moves than you can ever imagine. And
Right.
yeah. Yeah. I used to think like that. It's already made a big move down. It's not going to go anymore. And I've been wrong so many times on that. It goes twice the distance.
Yeah.
So,
Look at that sell-off on NVIDIA the other day. That was insane.
Where was that? Yesterday,
was
it? Oh, yeah.
Yeah. No, I think it was like 3 days ago. Yeah, two days ago on January 7th. Look at that. You know, I was watching that and it's like, okay, maybe it'll go to, you know, previous day's high or previous day's close. And then it's like, okay, wow, it's getting into this gap here under, you know, 148.50. And then it just went, man. That was wild. Reminds me of the old days before NVIDIA did the 1 for 10 split. You know, it had those huge sell-off days. Yeah, you could grab a few. Oh, dude, yeah. I missed, you know, I missed the boat on the first couple of them, but then, you know, on the third or fourth one, you know, man, you grab a couple puts at the beginning of the day and you know, I was tweaking my rules a little bit, you know, trying to play those because it was just consistently, you know, every so often having those huge red days. And so when I actually did catch it, I was like, you know what, this is setting up like one of the sell-off days. I'm actually going to hold these, but, you know, enter with the same risk, but decide that I was going to hold a lot longer than normal. And that did pay off on a couple of occasions for sure.
Yeah. Very interesting, right? How that works.
Yeah. But the funny thing is, that sell-off. Yeah, I was going to say that sell-off from 2 days ago on NVIDIA, that was the largest that we have seen. You know, even in the, you know, it back at like the pre-split era, that sell-off from 2 days ago it looks to be almost 50% bigger than most of those other sell-offs were. So pretty interesting. There's some things going on for sure.
Oh, yes. That's great. And then again, when these things happen, you need to have a strategy that can take advantage of it rather than try and come up with something on the spot and chase the market around. That's going to blow you up.
Mm-hmm.
Firstly is an entry strategy, another one's an exit strategy. So how do you capture massive moves when they happen? If you happen to find an entry, you don't know how far it'll go, but how do you stay in it? And that too with a big size through the day. So develop those things, you know. That's kind of the stuff I'm focusing on more recently. But yeah, got to develop that because when the market provides, man, take it. Because it doesn't always want to provide. It'll beat you up a lot. But when you get an opportunity, take it, you know, and hold it.
Yeah.
Let it run.
Yeah.
That's where the fun is. That's where the money's made.
Yep.
Good stuff.
Yep. Let your winners run. That is huge. So AMD still heading down here.
Yeah, I was just looking at that. It's very interesting. The break of the low was about 114.50. I think it'll be pretty aggressive if it breaks there. It'll go fast. Seems to be buyers in that area holding. You know, plenty there. Everything there. Make it want to go.
Yeah, a lot of liquidity below.
Nice. Things have been a little indecisive the last 30 minutes, but I'm really getting a feel for the shorts now. I've put on a short on Amazon just now, and I've got a good entry on this. It's already going. Let's see if this one's the runner. All I need is one runner, and I can stop out 10 times. It doesn't matter. You know, then it's still a good.
Yep.
When you trade like that, where again, cut your losers short, let the winners run. That's all it takes. So if you want to look at it, here's Amazon again, came down, broke the area about 218.50 or so, and more recently did this big retest. This red candle was huge, very interesting. I entered at the top of the current candle, and I'm trailing the price down, so I'm already cut the risk down tremendously. And let's see if this is good. It's good. Let's see.
Yeah,
it's
so
got
this is
plenty of opportunity.
AMD's second time testing this, you know, just slightly above 114.50 zone. So this is an interesting spot to watch AMD for sure.
Absolutely. Very interesting. Man, I want to put this trade on so bad right now, but I gotta wait. It's not my setup yet.
Yeah, no. Yeah, follow the rules, man. There were.
Put all the buying power in it. Let's go. But no, not yet. All right.
No.
All righty. That's our cue. Looks like we're at the top of the hour. That was fun, Phil. Thanks for coming in, man. Good fun.
Yeah, I'll be good hanging out, man. It's just like Colombia.
Oh, yes. Absolutely. We got to get some guitars and rock out sometime soon. Maybe do it online.
Yeah, yep, that needs to happen. All right, man.
Guys.
Well, hey, it was a pleasure.
Yeah. Take care, guys, on YouTube. We'll see you soon, either in the chat room or on in Vancouver. Either way, we'll see you here on Monday again. But make sure you come and join us. I mean, seriously, there's a lot of fun to be had. Take it easy.
Yep. Thanks, YouTube. See ya.
See ya.